Blitz up the middle. This one intercepted. Picked off in the flat. It's Lynch.
You're better off just rolling it down the field, the 40-yard line, than kicking a line drive to number 15.
And here he goes. The quarterback is on the loose. Here's Post up the middle. Post, he's got a seam and he's gone. Purdy makes one-man miss, spins away from a second. 10, still alive at the 5. Play action, Black to throw. Caught by Soden.
Finley to his left, throws across the body, looking for
Peters, he's got him on the run. Meanwhile, handoff.
He's gone.
Look now. To the house, Emmanuel Post.
They're going to air it out.
Deep down the near sideline. Touchdown, Legendary.
Unbelievable.
The holder is Sabati. It's clean. The kick is up. Good. And good. Well, hello everyone, and welcome here to Manchester. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you, getting set for the 2025 CHaD East-West Football High School All-Star Game here at St. Anselm College. An annual event that helps out, well, those in need. All goes to benefit the children at the Dartmouth Health Children's Hospital. And the best part is that the players themselves, they are in charge of the fundraising, and over the years they have come up with quite a bit amount of money and have changed a number of lives in the process. The state's best, divided geographically, east versus west. The 13th edition of this annual contest. Some of the best and brightest will take their talents to this turf field here at Sullivan Field, again on the hilltop here at St. A's. This one is one of the gems of the summer and serves as kind of a transition point between the 2004 and the 2005 seasons. We say goodbye to the graduated seniors, and it puts a little football flavor in the mouths of the fans at midseason.
Stole my thunder, Nick, but you know what? I'm going to add a little to that. I could not agree with you more. I think it's transition for the players' lives themselves as they exit the high school. We all remember, many years ago or a few years ago, depending on how old you are, when you graduated and then how your life, that was just one of those big, that wasn't a chapter change, that was a book change. These young men, this is the last opportunity they're probably going, unless you're playing together in college, the last opportunity you're going to be able to play together. It's a big deal. A lot of these guys went at it with each other, and it's kind of like the whole schoolyard thing, but when you come together, again, you may have been opponents once, but you're on the same team. And the thing that's amazed me is, as a charity event, these players throughout these many years that this thing has gone on, they have really left it out on the field. It's amazing what they've been able to muster as far as quality play that we've been able to see as well. But for these guys, it's key. It's also a transition for us at the media, the coaching staffs, the new underclassmen coming up. It's kind of the point where you hand off the baton after this game is over and everybody starts focusing on the upcoming season. For me personally, this is a big deal because some of these guys we became, Nick, attached to and really, really valued watching their play. And to be able to watch them all come here together in this game is great. But the thing that really rings true with this event every single year, year in, year out, is what their fundraising and what the development of them as young men are through this process of learning, that with all the gifts and support and resources they've received throughout their lives, the diligence in which and the hard work that they put into fundraising for people that are in need and at least in a temporary, disadvantaged situation. This charity and this program at Dartmouth Hitchcock, CHaD, has touched so many lives. We know some of those people ourselves. Have been coaches here that have gone through the services that they provide. We'll go through that more throughout the game, but all a win, win, and win here on this beautiful night to play football. So looking forward, this is a big deal for us. It's kind of the kickoff of football season. We got the Jamboree coming up a couple months, but this is a marquee event for us to cover as well. And everybody here, donates their time to come and do something for others, and it's a great atmosphere. And the crowd, Nick, is huge.
Yeah, basically a sellout here at Sullivan Arena. Sullivan Field, across the street from Sullivan Arena, and the fans are still making their way in from the parking lot. Tough to find a parking spot, but that's another story. Meanwhile, as we mentioned, Dartmouth Health Children's Hospital, they are the big winners here, and as are their young patients. 12 locations. They offer access to 247 pediatric providers and 30 pediatric specialists. All in all, they provide care to 95,000 pediatric patients annually. The players being introduced here, as we mentioned, it's East versus West. Team East is in the blue. Team West is in the white. Historically, Team West has gotten the better of this competition. They have won 4 straight and lead the all-time series 9-3. West head coach Kip Jackson, who is also, of course, the head coach at Merrimack High School. He pioneered the West to a victory last season and in 2023. On the opposite sideline, hoping to stop that streak, is Steve Abraham, longtime head coach at Salem High School. So we've got a chess match between two of the better minds in the business.
Both of these guys are suited for these teams very well. Everybody knows Steve is, if you have an offense that's going to be heavily run, there's limited time that they can have put it together. Steve and Kip are two coaches that can fit that into the mold and put a good offense and defense and special teams on the field. That's the thing about, the coaches in this state. We talk about it all the time. This state is, for a small state, is really, really gifted with tremendous coaching staff. And when you look down this cast of coaches on both teams, you can see not only the investment of their volunteer time, but the talents that they bring to the table to prepare our young football players to grow into men and be people that give back. At the same time, a lot of these guys are going to play college football who are leaving this game today, and they are well prepared with the quality coaching staffs that we have, Nick. Just was going to add on one quick thing to your point about the services that they provide. Some of these children are really, need to stay at Dartmouth Hitchcock, and this charity provides gas money, hotel, all kinds of support services for the family as a whole to provide strength around the child in need. And imagine if you're in this situation, you're working a full-time job, they're able to spend time with the child and through the healing and wellness process. And what a tremendous thing that is for someone. You talk to people that have been the beneficiaries of these services, and their eyes well up with what it meant to them to be able to see that the whole family and the whole community rally around to benefit the wellness process of these children in need. So fabulous, fabulous thing here.
The players have been introduced, and we are waiting momentarily for the color guard presentation of the flag, and then the national anthem will be sung live here in Manchester. But I suppose, Steve, we have a moment. What are you watching for on the field here? A couple of quick keys both ways for both Team East and Team West.
Well, first thing, you look at these rosters, Nick, and you look at they are just loaded with talent on both sides of the football. What I'm looking for is, given the heat that we had on Tuesday and Wednesday, I talked to a person who's involved in the CHaD that we work through on the media side of things, Catherine, and she had said to me that they had to have like a limited light practice on Tuesday and Wednesday as they work their way up here. So it's just I'm looking to see execution. Which team executes best? Which team is able to run a full gamut of that they allow as far as the offense and defensive plays and stuff. I'm looking for that. Looking for the quarterback, a quarterback to break out here, or the linebacker core, defensive end. I'm looking for edge play. Who dominates the edge? because they're limited in plays they can run. At that point, that elevates the edge as far as the defensive ends and the outside linebackers to be able to control that off-tackle position where they're going to be going for it. We have a beautiful weather to play football, so it isn't going to be not too much lactic acid built up today. These guys are ready to go. You're going to see a lot of energy, as we always do, but I'm going to be looking to who can run, and who in every game we've seen here, who at the end of in the end of the second quarter into the third quarter starts to be able to impose their will on the other from the physical side of the game and the running game. But that's kind of what I'm looking for, and which defense can control that off tackle and that edge, and obviously downfield is always so important. His Nick Valis, such a huge part of this event. Hopefully we'll be able to get him up here at halftime, but that's what I'm looking for.
He is the driving force, of course, behind this. Originated the idea back in 2012. Of course, he's the founder of the Bedford and Nashua Ambulatory Surgical Centers. And since that initial kickoff back on June 23rd of 2012, this game has raised over $3 million.
Wow.
Again, all going towards the children at Dartmouth Health Children's Hospital. So we salute Nick and his staff. Done a great job again.
All smiles, everybody. Everybody we work with, all smiles, loving what they're doing here. Always been a great event. This is, I believe, our sixth that we've done.
Sounds right.
Yeah, I think it's the sixth that we broadcast, and on behalf of all of our staff, Nick and I, we really enjoy doing this. Looking forward to it, and looking forward to a good game. The crowd tonight, this early, is significantly larger than what I remember even last year. And last year it filled up, but this is a big crowd. They'll be lining up around the field here shortly.
And again, there are some differences between tonight's game and regular high school football in terms of the rules. First of all, 15-minute quarters aligns with the NCAA game.
Yep.
That helps to prepare the players who are going to continue their career at the next level. So 4 15-minute quarters, and a number of officials as well, 7 as opposed to 5. Tonight's referee is Carmine LeConte, the umpire Rick Brownlee, the line judge is Gary Wright, the back judge Garen Murphy, field judge Jeremy Clegg, the side judge is N. Mastromateo, and the center judge is Kyle Schofield. I guess what I'm getting at, a lot of eyes on the field here. That doesn't necessarily, though, translate to more flags than we're used to.
No, the communication that we see from our officials, whether it be lacrosse, what FNL does all year through the multiple sports that we cover, the officiating in this state has been fantastic.
Yes.
So many games you don't even realize they're there, and that tells you how good they are. And then when a call needs to be made and there's any question, the communication has just been off the charts. The leaders of all the officiating staffs are fabulous. There's a high expectation they have, and they live up to it every single day. I've been amazed at the level. I watch college games, quite frankly, and I see more challenges with them sometimes than I do with New Hampshire, and I really feel that. They're a fantastic group. One of the things that really has come when you talked about like keys to the game, Nick, I just want to throw in special teams. Last year and the year before became a big part of when the momentum changes happen in this game, and that I expect that to be no different today. Just want to throw something else I thought about. If you remember, some of the special teams plays last year were really the deciding point where one team began to come off the momentum of that change and impose their will on the other. So one thing for sure, these guys work hard to raise money. That's the primary focus. But when they do come here, they want to get their last bangs in.
Yeah.
And there's a real heightened, this isn't playtime here. These guys really go at it. The pads we hear out there smacking are just every bit as good as any playoff game that we've seen last year.
And, of course, there'll be some individual awards handed out as well, including the highest fundraiser, the Dan Duval Community Service Award, and the Bo Dixon MVP Award, Steve, which in the past has gone plenty to linemen.
Yep.
Not necessarily taken for granted, so I know you'd appreciate that.
I do. I think that when you look at all levels, from the pro level to the college level, the upper college, the more Division IIs and Division IIIs, and clearly always in high school, that's never changed. The offensive line is really beginning to. You look at a left tackle on offense. and the value that they're bringing, whether it be NIL, but especially the recognition that they're getting. It is, when you start paying a quarterback a $50 million plus a year, and you recognize a quarterback even at the amateur level, when they have a good line, that can be the differentiating factor. And we're seeing that more and more. And running is coming back. It is much more. It's turning into a more balanced attack with more teams. The spread had to come in this game. It's exciting. It's fast. It's never going away. But the running game kind of took a back seat or lack of focus. Now both of them are coming into the forefront. We're seeing tremendous balance necessary in every program. And those teams that have that are winning the championships and coming back to the playoffs every year, all have that. So, and this game really lends itself to that. You see a lot of running. You see a lot of play action. You see a lot of out patterns. And it's amazing to me, Nick, that these guys have not played with each other, in some cases for maybe 3 weeks in these practice structure, and yet the chemistry that they've built in a short period of time is the reason why they're playing at the collegiate level, because they can mold. They've got a high IQ. We always hear that about our New Hampshire football players. Their IQ is a big part, and their execution is a big part of why they get accepted into these colleges, university. Of course, the academics speak for themselves in the state of New Hampshire. So very excited to see this. Hopefully we can get Nick up here at halftime to talk with us as he usually does. I know he's a busy guy down the field. We'll try to grab a little time with him maybe at halftime.
Yeah. He'll tell us more about this year's efforts to raise the funds there. You see the big check, and again, over $300,000 combined raised by these players. Speaking of the players, all four divisions, Steve, well represented.
Yes.
And we are going to tend our attention down to the field now for the national anthem.
Perform today's anthem. Please welcome CHaD Ambassador and Miss 2025 Miss Goffstown Team, Myra Gillis.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, and the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare without bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Oh, there it is. A fabulous job by
Thank you, Myra.
Miss Goffstown Team. That's Myra Gillis
Honor Guard.
setting the tone here in a proper fashion at Sullivan Field. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals getting set for the 13th annual CHaD East-West Football High School All-Star Game. It's presented by the Bedford and Nashua Ambulatory Surgical Centers. The West has had the leg up. Winners of 4 straight and 9 of the 12 so far. Coach Jackson back on the West sidelines as the head coach for the 3rd straight season. Well, our friend Steve Abraham looking to snap that streak and bring Team East back to the promised land. 4 15-minute quarters, 7 officials on the field, and a sellout crowd here in Manchester to cheer them on.
Yeah, I mean, how do you not root for both of these guys as head coaches? I mean, great personas. They bring excitement around them. Their players always rally around them. We've had them on our Gridiron show for many, many times and have thoroughly enjoyed their analysis of New Hampshire football as a whole and where their teams are and where they're going. And generally speaking, they've been spot on when they will critique their teams, and they've been spot on the strengths of their teams. Both of these guys are seasoned veterans and have a great staff supporting them to put out some good football play. No problem with the with the ratios of correspondence that they've been able to have with these players on this team. So, great guys.
Captain's getting set to meet at midfield for the coin toss.
Robin Bouquet, I just happened to notice on there, a past head coach of the West. Joe Batista, Trevor Knight. I mean, this thing just goes on and on. Nick Hammond, sure he'll be working on the offensive side for West. On the east side, Jack Byrne, obviously not going to be coaching for Wyndham this year, but still out in the coaching world. Great guy. Justin Huft, another offensive great mind.
Yep.
Be looking for the Hammond Huft competition there on the offensive coordination. That should be good. John Rich and Ken Sharkey. I mean, and plenty more. If I missed you, we'll get you later. But certainly, overall, a fantastic group of coaches.
And, of course, the captain's familiar name statewide as well. 5 on each side for Team East. Devin Bowles of Londonderry, Anthony Caruso of Pinkerton, Kevin Tedisco, a bowling ball of a running back, played for Coach Abraham at Salem, Daniel Batstone at Exeter, great two-way player. And Pelham's own William Nichols is out there. I believe, Steve, wearing a different number than what is in front of us. He may be number 27. And that may have been a last-minute change. We're trying to confirm that. For Team West, Nathan Sadia of Merrimack, one of Coach Jackson's own. Joshua Ozog, also of the Merrimack Tomahawks. Jack May of Bedford, a very good signal caller. And quarterback Logan Paradise of my own Manchester West. And Jaden Perez of Goffstown. So they're going to shake hands here with the coin toss. Seemingly in the books here. We're about ready for some football here on a 74-degree night at just past 6:15.
One of the things we've seen throughout the years, Nick, is how these coaching staffs use so effectively so many of this squad of their squads and get them into the game, rotating. You can re-enter, you can rotate them back in and out. And it's amazed me when you look at the end of the game and when you look at the amount of that roster throughout these years that have played and got time in and participated and contributed. Speaks well of the talent and how deep it goes here.
Team East going to kick off. Team West will receive. And they're going to send the dangerous Kyle Emmons of Nashua South back deep. He's lingering around the goal line.
Well, this has been a long time coming here. Weeks waiting for this game throughout May and June. I won't lie to you, Nick. This is one hot press box when you get a hot day, but it is perfect here.
Yes.
Tonight, I was a little concerned on Tuesday and Wednesday with 102 degrees I saw on my car temperature gauge on the way home, hoping it was going to go. And boy, did it leave in a hurry and get cool.
Blake Thompson of Londonderry set to kick off. The ball is teed up at the 40. He swings the left leg, and we are underway here in Manchester. It's Luke Peters on the return from the 10. Cuts across the 15.
Ooh, he's got a lane.
And look out. Across the 45 before he's finally cut down along the sidelines. That's Luke Peter, a 3-year starter for Nashua North, setting up Team West with very good opening field position just shy of midfield.
I believe that was Dulac on the Sam Dulac. I'm sorry, no, not Sam Dulac. Charles Dulac from Exeter on the tackle. He saved, without any question, a touchdown.
Get a look there, a shoestring stop.
Yeah, it was Dulac. Nice tackle. And a good run. Made a good choice of lane. You watch him when he came, he received the ball, he went up center, was able to find a little opening and accelerated beautifully through it.
Both Charlie and Sam Dulac of Exeter on Team East tonight. Out of the gun, it's Bedford's Jack May. He's got a man on a slant. Catch is made by Jaden Perez.
No, he actually...
he did not haul it in. Yep. Incomplete. I think he had it in initially, but couldn't reel it in, so second down and 10 on the way from the West 45.
Nice inside slant here. Watch this as he comes in. Looks like he could see big number 24 coming right at him there, Carson Palmer, who showed us a lot. We had a lot of coverage on Carson, did we not, Nick?
He sure did. A
little intimidated there, I think, and saw footsteps.
Stand out for Londonderry. Perez may have heard the footsteps. Meanwhile, it's a handoff on 2nd and 10 and a little bit of leverage as he tries to gain the edge, but cut down at about the 48-yard line. That's Peters. Second time he's touched the football here in the first minute and a half. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and 7 officially from the 48-yard line.
Devin Bowles in on the tackle there. He is a force to be reckoned with. Out with part of the season there, injured, but he's back in rare form right now.
6 yards.
Going to play some college football.
Yeah, look like he's ready to blitz here along a 3-man front for Team East. Out of the gun, May, 2-step drop, throws over the middle. It's intercepted. Picked off by Daniel Hughes of Salem. He is upended at midfield. So the game's first turnover occurs with less than a minute gone by. East going to take over at the 50 after the interception.
Yeah, let's take a look at this. It looked to be a good drop back. It was no vision problems. And what happened was just a great read as he came across. Never saw him coming across, and that was good defensive backfield play by both of them. Good coverage there by Anthony Caruso as well as Daniel Hughes.
Intended target was Michael Haney of Merrimack Valley. So the East takes over, 1st and 10 from midfield, and a good spin move here. It's Scott Hirschberger of Campbell, able to guide the Cougars to a Division III championship back in November. And he rips off a big run here, a 13-yard pickup with a 1st down.
And you can see why. Boy, look at this. This guy's playing against the best in the state right now, down at Division III, and you can see why so much was talked about with this young man. He is outstanding. Boy, that was a great turn upfield. He's a stealth runner, and he runs with power. That was impressive. Great to see him live. We wouldn't get a chance to.
Right. Had over 6,000 yards during his career at Campbell and was one of the finalists for the UKICA Player of the Year award.
Yeah, well deserved.
Meanwhile, here's Batstone to work. Exeter's standout. He's going to grind his way inside the 35 before he's stopped by Jacob Sheff of Bedford down at the 33-yard line. A gain of 5 to set up 2nd down.
Yeah, carries a name that's well-fitting, Batstone. This guy, he is a talented, shifty runner. He's got finesse, but he's also got bull, and that's what I like about this guy. You hear Coach speak about him, and he can't say enough. This guy was a huge factor for Exeter this year.
Meanwhile, another punishing run up the middle. The West defense does respond. Kevin Tedisco's first touch makes his way down to the 31-yard line for a gain of 2. So a big 3rd down coming. 3rd down and 4 after the 1-yard pickup.
I like the movement of the football here. I like the play calling. You know, we talked about this. I don't know, but I assume Justin Huft, that looks like him calling the offense over the other far on the near side of the field here, but maybe it's a team effort. But boy, they're calling some good sequence of plays here.
The quarterback is Jeremy Milocek of Timberlane. He's under center this time. Handoff up the middle.
He's close.
And
I think he's got it.
May depend on the spot. Trying to get down to the 27, maybe the 28, or somewhere in between.
It's going to be really close, Nick. I think he may have edged it out. It depends on the spot, really. Ooh, I don't know. You can't tell from here.
First carry for William Nichols, who was also one of the top fundraisers for Team East, honored before the game. And he is stopped just short. That big defensive tackle, Nicholas Francois of Merrimack, may have saved the 1st down. So now 4th down and inches. Milocek is back under center. There's a man in motion who takes the handoff right side. That's Hirschenberger, and he's got the 1st down.
I got to see who made that lead block. Number 54, Colton Broussard of Oyster River, Portsmouth. I'm telling you, you need to watch this. Look at that block right there. Actually, that was also supported by number 27. Great up front lead. Is that was the player in question? Okay, that's Nichols. All right. Impressive. Good lead blocking. I like the play. I love the play calling here, working all the numbers on the holes.
4 straight runs to begin the drive. This one started at midfield. Malocek on 1st and 10, play action. Looking downfield, plenty of time, throws it towards the end zone, and it's incomplete in the back corner.
Yeah.
Trying to hook up with the big target, Tyler Graney, the Exeter tight end.
Tyler
Second
Graney.
down and 10 coming up.
Good, but one thing he didn't do is finish his route here. What you want to do is trust the quarterback. So play action play, keep reaching. Then he has his hand in the air, and he kind of slowed down just a little bit. Got to finish that. He had separation. You got to continue, and leave it up to the quarterback to reach it to you. But I'll tell you, Graney was something else this year for Exeter. I assume he's going to be going to the next level, Nick. He was impressive this year. Got all the gifts.
Against the 4-man front on 2nd and 10. It's a double handoff. Tedesco stumbles, gets a second win, leans his way down to the 21-yard line.
How he
and picks up 3 yards in the process. Holding on for dear life was Manchester Central's Tyler Wong, who's credited with the stop.
Well, watch how, this is the thing about Tedesco that Steve, I know, loves so much. Everybody that watches him does. Watch, how did he gain 3 yards in this? First of all, he's right there, gets tripped up, keeps going, gets tackled again. He's just so strong and so elusive at the same time to get through the line, gets a 3-yard gain instead of a 3-yard loss.
So 3rd down and 7, nearly
Money
5
runner.
minutes in. First drive for Team East. They took over via the interception by Salem's Daniel Hughes at midfield. Team West hoping for a stop with a 4-man front. Wide receiver near side right. And Malocek drops back into the shotgun. Takes the snap, handoff. It's Hirschberger. His 3rd carry is not going to be enough. Does gain the 20, but is stopped shortly after down at the 19-yard line. Luke Peters and company with the gang tackle.
Yeah.
And already Team East is 1 for 1 on 4th down. Do they kick here, Steve, or do they go for it? It looks like 4th and 6.
One thing that I give the West defensive coaches credit for is they went right after the run. If you're going to try to run from edge to edge inside of that, we're going to bring the personnel in. They did just that. If they had called an out pattern or something on an out pattern on a pass, I think they had a lot of real estate open. But I liked rolling the dice there with West, saying we're going to shut you down the middle, force you to do something different, and that's why they got a 4th and 6 here. We'll see.
The first down marker is at the 13-yard line. Malocek with a loaded backfield. Handoff to Tedesco is tackled in the backfield.
Number
Max
55.
Cody of Goffstown.
Yep.
Another one of those veterans for the Grizzlies makes the stop, and you can see his excitement as he heads back to the sideline. So Team West gets the stop in the red zone. They'll bring the offense onto the field, 1st and 10 at their own 20.
Yeah, not only is he fast, too. Look at that. That's just great lateral movement down the defensive line. And grab a piece of whatever you can, as long as it's not his helmet. Now watch him. Look at the speed, the lateral speed that he has, and he doesn't give up. He's strong. That able to hold him like that, Nick, happens in the weight room. That's where the weight room comes in, is your ability to physically handle the body of your opponent that you're tackling. What a great job.
Second drive for Team West as Jack May, the quarterback, is back in the shotgun. 4-man front, puts a man in motion on 1st and 10. It's a handoff and hit at the line of scrimmage, trying to lean his way up to the 22-yard line for a short gain. Is Hanover's David Frechette. That's the 6-foot, 175-pound running back's first carry. It goes for 3 officially to set up a 2nd and 7.
Yeah, surprised that they didn't try for a field goal there, Nick, on a 4th and 6, to be honest with you. I didn't really get a chance to talk about that. But, hey, you know, they've got deep territory. They trust their defense, but give West credit for holding.
Meanwhile, design quarterback run, and May's got a first down.
Nice run.
The Bedford Bulldog across the 40, tackled from behind at the 45. Big gainer there of 22 yards. The longest play so far as we approach the midway point of the first quarter.
Yeah, I think that, Jack has proven that he makes good choices. He saw the bunch up. He saw the personnel all stacked. There was nobody open, and Jack doesn't sit there and look and wait. He tucks it and runs. He's done it all year. He's got a nice look at. He immediately knows.
Meanwhile, handoff on 1st and
There's
10
nothing there.
as Reese Claremont of Merrimack Valley gets his first touch. Gang tackled at about the 48-yard line after a 3-yard carry. Both teams, Steve, seeming to employ the no-huddle, fast-paced offense here.
Yep.
As Team West is right back to the line of scrimmage for the second down.
Not a lot of need to respirate in between plays with the cool weather, Nick, there, so they can keep going.
May takes a high snap, handoff,
Nice
and
tackle.
a stop in the hole.
Who was that? Number 24, Carson Palmer.
Yep.
Oh, boy, was, like I said before, he was a lot of fun to watch. Plays at a high level of intensity, completely fearless, and he's just got great tackling capabilities. He's low. He'd be a heck of a wrestler if he isn't already.
A favorite of Coach Lozon over the years.
Who can blame him?
And well-deserved here, getting a start on both special teams and defense for Team East. So, 3rd down and 6. The football is at the West 48-yard line. And we'll see if we see a blitz here. They rush 4. May's got a clean pocket. Pumps, fires, deep downfield. Wide open is Colin Bailu, but that one is incomplete.
Yeah, I think there's a situation there where I think he was expecting for him to come to the center and break as soon as he threw the ball. He was just going a kind of a deep corner route there, Nick, and just never came in the center of the field. Jack did not misthrow that. It's clear that he, from his perspective, he just threw that to the center of the field. So to me, that the quarterback threw it by design where it was supposed to be. Hard to say, but you kind of give the quarterback the benefit of the doubt. Here we go.
Meanwhile, Colby Nyhan, the punter for Concord, going to boot this one out of bounds. They'll mark it at the 30-yard line. So still scoreless here inside of 7 minutes first quarter, and Team East will take over for their second drive. They were able to move the football into the red zone, but ultimately came up short with a turnover on downs.
Yeah, I give the West defensive decision to bring more resources inside really work for them, and I give them a lot of credit there. Sometimes you have to respond. If they keep gaining yardage like that, you've got to respond and then make them do something different than the success that they were running. So both defenses doing a great job here so far, forcing.
Got a timeout here.
Yep.
Team East not quite ready there. Play clock running down.
Yep.
So Coach Steve Abraham will call his first timeout. Our broadcast tonight brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations in Bedford, Londonderry, and Epping. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance gets you the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit MGSportsFundraising.com. Start raising money for your team today. And finally, by the New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NHTomahawks.com and also girls.NHTomahawks.com. Nick Anastas, Steve Bales with you and the rest of our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire family. It's the 13th annual CHaD East-West High School Football All-Star Game here in Manchester. We're midway through the first quarter and scoreless here from Sullivan Field. Wolochek on 1st and 10, coming out of the timeout. Hirschberger turns his back to the defense, crosses the 30, but is tackled at about the 32-yard line, put down pretty violently there by Max Cody and Luis Toledo of Salhegan. Speaking of Salhegan, they won the championship this year, Steve, in Division II as a number 4 seed. On the road in the semis and then in neutral territory as well. Coach Robin Boquette really got the most of that group this year. And, of course, Toledo a big part of that senior class.
Let's give Jacob Sheff a heck of a play last play, grabbing him by the shirt, able to hold him back till he had the support of his teammates coming in. He was very impressive all year long.
Meanwhile, Batstone on 2nd down is going to lose a yard there. Good penetration up front collectively from Team West defensively.
I would agree. Both defenses here expected so. Much more difficult to get an offense trained than it is a defense. But give this defense credit just the same. They are hitting all of their lanes, all of their techniques across the line. They are doing a terrific job on both sides of the football, foiling a very strong group of personnel offensively on the running attack.
Team West hoping to force a 3-and-out here. 3rd down and 8. Will Team East go to the air? Wolochek is in the gun, takes the snap. He's under pressure. He tucks, and he's going to run here. He's across the 35, but not enough. Ball comes out late. Team West says they have it, and they do.
And they do.
It's their first takeaway, and it comes at the 37-yard line. Or was he down? I thought the official signaled West possession. He may have been pointing to the ground instead.
He may have. Let's take a look here. We're going to get a good look at this. What a great decision to run the football early. And he says, Oh, to me, that ball looked like it was out, Nick, before he touched the ground, to me.
Good tackle by Grant Harris of Souhegan. He did gain 5 yards, but is 2 yards shy. So 4th down and 2 from there from the East 38, their own 38. And they're going to trot out Charles Crawford of Alvern.
I think we're going to see this again. Now watch this now. I don't think his knees were down. That ball is loose before the knees are down, but awful hard to see in there in a group.
I think Milochek may have recovered it either way. Meanwhile, it's Crawford on 4th down and 2. It's a design run. He sprints to the sideline, and it's going to be close. Nope, they're going to give it to him. They're going to mark him actually pretty generously up at the 44-yard line. So a 1st down and then some for Charles Crawford on his first snap of the game is going to keep the drive alive for Team East.
Watch the pin block here. Now, hopefully we're going to see this. I got to find out who it is. Somebody on the outside. Look at that reach block by number 14.
That's Tedesco.
Kevin Tedesco. This guy does it all. I'm telling you, he is the most unselfish player. He'll give it to everything he got when he runs, and he gives you 120% when he's got a block for somebody.
Crawford is going to stay in the game. Team West rushes 5. Tedesco gets rewarded with a carry, but he's not going to get much on a dive there. A yard maybe up to the 45-yard line to bring up a 2nd down and 9. Meeting him there is Logan Paradise of Manchester West, one of the starting linebackers for Team West.
Look at the fills here. Look at the control on the line and then the fill coming in with the green space. And whoever that is underneath, we're going to give him a
Grant Harris second tackle.
Yes, yep. Unbelievable. What a terrific job.
Who, along with Paradise, able to combine for the stop. So 1 yard gain for Tedesco, who has found some tough sledding here, Steve.
Well, these linebacker cores, they came to play today on both sides of the game.
4 yards for Salem's Tedesco on 4 carries.
Yep, these are excellent backs getting met at the line of scrimmage hard.
2nd down and 9. Crawford going to hook up with Batstone on the handoff.
Yep.
And he's not going to find much on the left side, just a yard. At
14.
Caden Tessier, of Milford. Yep. Right on his back there, able to carry him an extra yard to set up a 3rd down and 7. Meanwhile, clock continuing to move. Already 12 minutes in the books, 3 minutes to go first quarter, still scoreless. And officially a 3rd down and 8 facing Team East.
Top level players are top level players no matter what division you're in, Nick. That's one of the things you see here. These guys that are playing out of Division 2, Division 3, even Division 4, these guys are holding up very, very solid because they're just great football players at any level. They may not have the depth on some of these teams, because of it, but these top-level guys that are coming here to play, it doesn't matter what division from, they're all contributing here today.
4-man front for Team West. Crawford, handoff, Batstone, right side run, cuts it up, and is cut down at about the 48-yard line after a gain of 2. There's Harris again with his 3rd tackle already, representing Souhegan very well. And now 4th down and 7. We've seen Coach Abraham roll the dice 3 times.
Kicking here.
3 times already on 4th down, but this one may be a little too far.
Yeah, this will be a punt.
And we expect a punt here, and so does Team West as they drop in back deep. Peters is inside his own 10-yard line.
Well, we're seeing a clinic here on inside linemen, edge to edge, and then linebackers understanding their responsibility, shedding blockers, just doing a terrific job with handwork on the D-line and the linebackers, and they're coming up and sticking at the line. But they're staying square. They're doing all the fundamental things right.
Devin Bowles, lefty punter of Londonderry, gets the kickoff. It's going to land inside the 25, take a roll down to the 20.
Production.
No return. It's down right there. So Team West will take over for drive number 3 with a minute 36 to go here in this opening quarter.
I'm not sure I can wait 2 months for the Jamboree, Nick. You realize how much you miss this and how enjoyable it is to sit up here and watch these great kids play football. I'll tell you, they are hitting out there. The contact, not only is the contact hard, but it's very well executed, and you can tell these young men are well coached from their prospective community coaching staffs as well as the coaching staffs that have picked these guys up here. It's just terrific work. Everybody defensively is ready to play. Let's see if the offense begins to neutralize that a little bit as the game goes on and begin to take control with a good drive.
Got a new quarterback. That's Concord's Colby Nyhan.
Yep.
As he hands off on 1st and 10. It's a left side run. Doesn't produce much. Hughes is there on the stop. First carry for David Frechette of Hanover.
Colin Couture and number
That's his second carry.
Yep.
And he picks up 3 yards.
I think it's fair to say one of the keys, Nick, at the beginning was how's the edge play going to be? Yeah. Well, the edge play has been stellar. What's really been amazing is the filling. And in between, Devin's got, he almost had him.
Bulls chasing after Nyhan, who eludes him in the backfield, trying to make his way to that far side.
And
still going. He's got the first down.
Wow, there's a play
An outstanding run along the edge. Third effort there made the difference for Nyhan as he picks up 10 and a first down.
Yep. What you see right there, Nick, is just sheer determination. What I like is he's protecting the football on the outside the whole time that he's running. See that? It is his look at that run and then watch the outside. Just a terrific job.
Broke a tackle before Felix Gonzalez of Salem finally got him around the waist.
One of those 10 or 11 plays in a game, Nick, we may look back and remember.
Nyhan handoff. It's Trevor Wong of Central.
Yeah.
We saw him make a play defensively earlier. This time he shows you what he can do with the ball in his possession. It's a 5-yard gain on a right side run to set up second down and 5. And that may or may not be the final play as the clock continues to tick. We're down to 15 seconds here late in the first quarter.
I think are they going to try to get it off?
Well, they're lined up, but we've seen this no-huddle, fast-paced offense for both teams in the opening quarter, but that will bring us to the end of the frame. No score here in Manchester. Defense, the name of the game so far. Each team with a takeaway. Can the offenses pick up the pace? We find out on the other side next. You are watching the 2025 CHaD East-West High School Football All-Star Game presented by the Bedford Ambulatory Surgical Centers, and it's live right here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, presented by Beals Insurance.
Broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Start of the second quarter here in Manchester. Sullivan Field, Grapponi Stadium, St. Anselm College, the location once again for this 2025 CHaD East-West New Hampshire Football All-Star Game, powered by Basque. Nick and Astis, Steve Beals with you from Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. Team West with the football, and it's a big run around the outside for Caden Tessier.
Yeah.
The top fundraiser for Team West, representing the Milford Spartans. He's going to move the chains on a first down run.
Let's take a look at Luke Peters here on a kickout block. Now watch Luke, number 5, has them completely sealed back there, and that's what opened up the nice turn up field, well-designed play. Boy, that was a long jet motion from the other side of the field, let me tell you.
An 11-yard gain. Meanwhile, a 3-yard, or rather a 3-receiver set. It's a quarterback draw, and Nyhan continuing to grind out some yardage. Crosses midfield. He's in enemy territory before he's finally stopped at about the 44-yard line. Another good rip out of the backfield for an 8-yard carry.
One of the things I've watched Nyhan throughout the year, Nick, last year, and boy, there's a jumbo jet coming in. Watching Nyhan last year, I like his energy. He plays with a lot of energy, a lot of body motion, and he executes the handoffs extremely well, or the fakes for that matter.
Manchester West's Keyshawn Foster with the handoff, but he's going to stop with a whistle.
Looks like
this play is blown dead. There's a flag along the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, offsides. That's what I thought.
That's the game's first penalty.
Yeah, that's
As
right.
we hear from referee Carmine LeConte for the first time. It's going to cost Team East 5 yards, and it's a free first down for Team West.
Well, that generally, when you run a good running game, good play action pass game with good execution, you don't have that many penalties if the offensive line is disciplined.
Meanwhile,
and
Colby,
they've been that so far.
Colby Nyhan has looked good.
He
Came
has.
off the bench in relief of starting quarterback Bedford Jax May, and has been able to ignite this offense. Here is Foster, same play, turns the corner, and jumps his way down to the 35-yard line after a 4-yard gain.
I really like the change in play calling here. Look to me like the line coach over there, Nick, is very satisfied with his West group right now. They are beginning to sync. They're hitting blocks. They're executing well, and the runners are getting lanes.
Tackle there by Hughes, who is starting to make an imprint defensively for Team East. That's his third tackle. Meanwhile, this fast-paced no-huddle continues. Nyhan out of the gun, handoff, and a jump cut there from Frechette of Hanover, who's been busy in this first half. He's going to advance the football down to the 32-yard line to set up what looks like a 3rd and 3.
Nice fake there by Nyhan. He had the defensive backfield a little frozen because he looked like he was going to pass.
Meanwhile, play action, throw, catch. It's Foster again. He's tackled from behind, very close.
I think he's got it.
To that first down marker.
Yeah, he's got it.
Well, Manchester West. They made the playoffs, Steve, in Division II for the first time since 2007. And, of course, Foster, a big part of that rebuild for the Blue Knights, one of several, a handful of seniors representing West High School, moving the chains there after the completion.
Energy at West High School football, Nick, really coming on strong.
What
a nice pass.
Foster diving.
That may have bounced. I don't know, but they're going to say yes.
That's not Foster, but his high school teammate, Terrence Bovell, and that is a completion.
Yeah, let's take a look at this. He really had to get his hands underneath. Hopefully we got a good view here. Good throw. When you take he was being harassed in there. And what a great lift right there by, who is that? Number 18, was it?
Yeah, Bovell with the catch.
Nice.
Meanwhile, Nyhan looking for the end zone, and he's in for the touchdown. It's an 18-yard scamper for the Concord QB, and Team West is on the board first with 3 minutes gone by in this second quarter.
I give number 9 a lot of credit for this drive, Nick. Not only does his execution well, but it's the energy that he brought in when he came. He was just, you could just see he was amped. He had, he was fully charged when he came into the game. And look at this. Great fake. Look how fast he's in position. He chooses the right lane. Hard guy to bring down, but boy, the heart that he's played with since he's come in has really been a lift for this West program.
And it's Nyhan, why not, who adds the extra point. So the Concord QB gets into the end zone on an 18-yard touchdown run, and he adds the extra point as well with that right foot. It's 7-0 in favor of Team West.
Yeah, he came amped to play. He's going to make a statement, and he's done it here. What I liked about him is his faking ability, his fake handoffs. I was talking about it earlier. I was talking about when he decides to run, there's no question he has great vision early. And watch how quick he picks his lane. Look at the vision coming off of that mask right there. He sees the lane, he sees where the personnel, where the opposition is not, and he attacks it. What a great job.
Made Felix Gonzalez miss in the open field which is not an easy thing to do. Yep. So Nyhan really looking good on that drive, both on the ground and through the air. Leads West to a 7-0 lead. So that first quarter was scoreless. We saw a takeaway for each defense. The West offense comes alive to start the second quarter.
And let's give the offensive coordinators of West and coaches a lot of credit there. They changed the game to that jet motion, which really plays into the running and fake ability that Nyhan has. And they really built that offense playbook around him. And look at it, now he's going to kick the ball off. This kid's taken over as a leader of this game so far.
Line drive kick. Backpedaling for Team East is Jack Katrobis of Wyndham. Hands it off. There's a flag on the play. Justin Bolin of Pelham is not going to survive the 12-yard line.
Wait a minute. I don't understand where the flag is. If they're doing these multiple handoffs everybody's game, we're going to see this is going to be an interesting call if we can see this on replay. Because they're running down the field and they're doing a multiple handoff. Oh, it's against them. Okay, good. All right, so that, I don't mean good, but I'm just saying, because that was a fair play that coming down to hit. See where they're faking off? He's at a perfect right to be able to make that hit right there. If they're going to fake handoff, because they're going to put him in play as a player that's able to be tackled and gone after. See that right there? Boom, comes right through. So The flag was against East, so I don't know exactly what that was, Nick. Do you?
Second penalty against Team East. We saw the defense take a flag to begin the second quarter. And now the special teams penalty is going to back up Team East to their own 7-yard line, where Jeremy Malocek of Timberlane is back out to orchestrate the drive. Handoff left side. I believe that's Backstone. And he's crushed by 3 different West defenders at about the 10-yard line. That's actually Tedisco on the carry, who has found the early going very tough here. Again, just 6 yards, Steve, on 5 carries. They continue to focus on number 14 in blue.
Yeah, probably not the place here to do it. They got to work really hard to get off the ball. The offensive line here has got to start coming out a little bit lower, Nick. I'm watching them. They're starting to come up a little high, usually a sign of fatigue.
Meanwhile, Grant Harris has racked up tackles at the second level.
Not that time.
4 stops early. Meanwhile, first carry for Team East, and maybe another. Okay, that's Chris Brearley. That makes sense of Wyndham.
Yep.
Who did a little bit of everything, Steve. He took snaps this year for Coach Byrne and was a big part of that run game out of the backfield as well. We know about his defensive abilities, but first carry there is met by Tessier and forced out of bounds.
Yeah, very versatile player.
So a first down at the 20-yard line. Handoff, Batstone trying to cut up the middle, and he is swarmed once again.
Yeah, they
finished off by Kyle Emmons of Nashua South after a 3-yard gain to set up second down.
You said it, Nick. He's getting swarmed. They're keying on him. Somebody else is going to have to step up and make a play to open things up for Batstone, because right now he's just got everybody swarming against him. I mean, he's a terrific player, but nobody can handle 7, 8 guys keying on him.
Malocek under center, second down and 8. East going to stay on the ground as they go right back to Brearley, trying to fight his way up to the 30-yard line where the first down marker is, but he stopped at about the 27, so we've got a 3rd and 3 coming up.
One of the things here you'll see in the replay that's developing here is when West is making the tackle, when they hit, the runners are being stopped right in that place, which means they're breaking down. Watch the breakdown. Bang, right here. Comes up, fills, and he doesn't go anywhere. And so nobody's getting a lot of yards after the initial hit.
Yeah. 3rd down and 3, and again, this one is stuffed.
It's a clinic right here. 55.
That's Cody. Yep, came right through the A gap. He's going to flex his muscles. Another timely stop as the Goffstown graduate firing up that West defense. It's a 2-yard loss, so a 4th down and 5 now.
Yep.
Deep in their own end at the 25. This is likely a punt.
If you're East, you really at least wanted to get good field position when you're kicking it to set West back. This is a key time here on this special teams play for East to be able to get a good cover and push them back, but also a big defensive stand wherever it winds up.
Bowles has to move to his left,
boy.
And that one may have been tipped. It's straight up in the air. It's going to fly out of bounds, still in East territory. This is a gorgeous opportunity for Team West as the officials mark the football at the East 35-yard line.
Tipped. It wasn't tipped. No, it wasn't tipped. 70 came in and just did a terrific job. He forced the kicker to kick it high in the air and off to the left. Who was that, 70?
That's your friend Evan Ray from Keene.
Oh, Evan Ray. How am I not surprised? Evan.
Of course, he was a standout for the Blackbirds. His older brother played in this game a couple of years ago.
Loved him.
And he's able to penetrate there and make a play. Whether or not he got the football, it makes a play for his team. So Team West already with a 7-0 lead. They take over at the 35-yard line.
Making plays.
Nearly 6 minutes into this second quarter. And back for more is Charlie Crawford of Alvern. Going to throw deep. Looking, had a man, but overshoots the target. Trying to hook up there with Talon Walton of Salem at second down.
Yeah, Jack, watch the mechanics here. The ball kind of sailed here. Watch. See, it just kind of sailed. But again, he had I believe number 8 on East in his face, Nick, which forced him to kind of loft that ball, and it sailed out. Jack's got a very strong arm. And so good defensive play there.
Got a 3-man front this time for Team East on second down and 10. Crawford, handoff. It's a right side run. Little shake and bake for Frechette, who has been busy. The Hanover standout gets down to the 30-yard line. That's 3rd down and 5 now coming up.
Yeah, they
and as you know, Steve, the playbook wide open on 3rd and medium.
Wide open, and they're not going to give him forward progress there because the whistle was blown before Devin hit him forward there.
Yeah, they spot him actually at the 31-yard line, so 3rd and 6.
How big a play is this for Team East right now?
Hoping for a stop here.
To make a stop, and Team West can really change the momentum of the game here if they can execute.
Crawford going to roll left, looking. Now going to tuck and run. He's got a 1st down.
Great move by Jack. He stayed behind the line as long as he could. Defensive backs there kind of slid back a little deep. They kind of gave him the 1st down. Watch this. He's way back, number 50, and number 7. They're way back. And
that's Caruso on the tackle.
Jack saw that. Caruso, you want to come up a little bit more, a little closer line. It wasn't like you were in coverage or anything. And
meanwhile, May has showed off the legs. The Bedford standout, 29 yards on 2 carries after picking up 7 there.
It's just a heady move by Jack May.
And off, and on a dive, it's Reese Claremont of Merrimack Valley. That's his 3rd carry so far, and his best, as he picks up 5 to set up a 2nd down and 5. Couple of East defenders in the area there, including Charlie Dulac of Exeter.
I don't think there's any question that West is running downhill now. They've done it for the last 7 or 8 minutes when they've had the ball, and the offensive line is winning the battle, and the running backs are just choosing great lanes and running downhill.
Wong on a second effort, not going to get much.
That was Bowles, right? Made the tackle.
Yeah, right there waiting for him was Devin Bowles on the edge. No gain for Wong on his 2nd tote. And now a 3rd down and 6. We're now past the midway point 2nd quarter, approaching the 7-minute mark before halftime. May looks over at Coach Jackson on his left side. He's got a running back to his right. He's going to roll right. He's going to throw right. And this one is incomplete in the end zone.
Could have been offensive interference there with pushing off. Watch this on a play here. It's very close. Not sure I would have called it, but it was close.
Dominic Canny, the intended target.
Watch here on field. Jack, no problem. Complete telegraph pass, no question. You can see the push off. Is that on Caruso? Yeah, watch the push off here down the field to get the release. Caruso was on him, and but doesn't matter anyway. But there was no question. Jack wasn't looking to fake anybody out. He believed he could outrun him, and he went for it.
4th down and 6. Team West going to go for it at the 20-yard line. Back to throw with time. Now a flag is thrown. There may be a hold on the way.
It is a hold.
May's going to fire into the end zone, and that one out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. We'll see what the flag is here. It's back at the 32-yard line.
The hold was on number 52, Hamway from Wyndham. And they reclined it, and they stand. They make the big stand here. That's a big part of this game for East. When they look back, they say defensively we held them. We're within 1 score, 6:41. We got plenty of time, plenty of timeouts. Now they got to execute.
Defense has stood tall here for both teams in the first half. A turnover each way in the first quarter, and now each team with a stop on downs inside the 20-yard line. The lone touchdown came from Team West's Colby Nyhan, the Concord quarterback, scored on an 18-yard run. Meanwhile, Malocek on 1st and 10, looks for a man along the sideline, and there is a flag at midfield.
They got him for the bump. He was facing him when he made the bump. It wasn't incidental contact, at least on the initial call. Let's take a look at it. Now watch this. Yeah, see how he turned into the receiver. While we're waiting, can we see that one more time? Watch him turn into the receiver. Now it's incidental. Now it's not incidental. Not good. That's why. So
see the push there. The defender, Jaden Paris of Goffstown, one of the captains. The intended target who went flying was Jack Katrobis of Wyndham.
That was a very good call. And now we like to see this. Have a little discussion between the player and the ref. Good discussion.
15-yard penalty, as we know.
Yep.
NCAA rules here. So that is the first penalty against Team West. We saw 2 of the 5-yard variety against Team East. But this one a big 15-yard.
I think he would have received the ball, Nick, if he wasn't hit, because he had here's a little reverse to Batstone.
Double handoff. Exeter's Batstone is across the 40 before he is upended by the defender Cole Reeves of Bishop Girton.
Yep.
All in all, a 7-yard pickup. Yep, second down and 3 coming up.
You start naming these schools, you're kind of wondering where these schools are going to be this year, Nick, as we lean forward. Always love doing the Jamboree in August. We see about 8 or 9, 10 of those teams. Always fun to see who's got what when they come out. So
yeah, that's a good point. We'll be broadcasting live from Gill Stadium in Manchester sometime in late August. Don't have the date in front of us, but it's typically Labor Day weekend or so, and that's the unofficial kickoff to the 2025 season. Meanwhile, second down and 3, Team East. They go back to the ground. They go back to Chris Brearley, and he's got a first down across the 45.
Yeah, Brearley. Who's number 27 again?
That's Nichols.
Nichols. How about that block? Watch Nichols block right here. He does everything. He knows he hasn't got to hold him for long. Just get right in there, and he opened up that lane. They got into the backfield. Nichols picked him up. Nice job.
Jeff Hickey, the linebacker from Trinity, with the stop.
Yep.
But not before the chains are moved. First down and 10 from their own 44. East trailing 7-0 as we approach the 5-minute mark to go in this fast-moving first half.
Yeah.
Just a total of 3 penalties so far and 1 score. Left side run, and Tedisco going to bowl over one defender on his way to midfield.
Stevie going with the old double wing, double tight. And they are getting that 3 yards. No cloud of dust, of course, on an artificial field. But
that's actually Tedisco's longest run of the game so far. That's a 4-yard carry. He's been bottled up, but starting to break free a little bit here.
Interesting decision, Nick, really, to go to the double wing, because what it allows you to do is multiple players at the point of attack. They were losing the individual battles on the more traditional running. Now they're starting to knock off 3 or 4 yards.
Second down and 6. Batstone trying to find room up the middle. That whole snap shut very quickly. Evan Rave Keene yet again on the scene.
Yeah, generally speaking, if you're going to go with the double wing, you stay with it. You don't go back and forth because it's all built into deception. A little surprise there. That I don't believe that last play was a traditional double wing play, but we'll see what happens. But East moving the football. They got the field position back, that they wanted. Big third down here.
Huge.
Yeah.
Third down and 5, 4 minutes to go before the break. Malochek is under center this time. A loaded front in front of him for Team West. Tedisco around the corner has the first down. Tackled along the sideline inside the 40, makes his way down to the 36.
Really well designed.
That's a big pickup of 15.
It's all designed. Now look at the quarterback, how he fakes that move, and that keeps everybody still on the defensive front there, the front 7. They're all standing. They can't move, and now they're behind the 8 ball. If Batstone could have got that out there for that block, he may have gone all the way, Nick. Not saying he should have. I'm just saying if he could have executed there. And that's well-designed play.
And that's the longest play for Team East in this first half.
That was the best execution of any play they've run yet.
First and 10, they go to Batstone, and he's going to jump cut to his right.
Yep.
And break his way out of a crowd there. Somersaults down to the 30 after a 6-yard pickup.
Well, I'm sure the East line coach really charged this offensive line, says you got to get busy, you got to get down, hitting at the pad level, as our friend Kip Jackson always says. When you come off the line, you got to come off the line and sink, and you got to come out low and hard, heads up, shoulders down, and drive. And make sure you're getting the proper angle. Know your play. Know where you're supposed to be.
That was Batstone's longest carry as well. Unofficially a 6-yard pickup. This drive began for Team East back at their own 20. Coach Abraham hoping it can end with a touchdown. We're inside of 3 minutes to go before halftime. On second down and 4. Malochek, handoff.
Yeah, much
this
better blocking.
This is Hirschberger, and he's across the 25. That's a first down.
Yeah, they have the goods as far as the runners. These guys are outstanding, and I give this coaching staff from the East line, lineman group, and the line that these guys doing it out in the field here, a lot of credit. They're really coming out much more technically astute, much more effective, and I think the play callers they're getting the angle blocks now that they need. Instead of taking this big defensive front on straight on, they're moving the angles and they're doing some inside fakes, and it's starting to work for them. They're moving the football.
Clock continuing to tick. Now it'll stop as the whistle sounds. And I believe we have a timeout. Yep. Timeout Team West.
Like
Coach Jackson wants to give his defense perhaps a breather here with 2:15 to go before halftime. Coming up at halftime, stats, official stats here, Steve. My friend Griff's got us covered upstairs. We're going to print those out and get those to you.
Thank you, Griff.
Plus our producer/director, Ben Beals, has got the highlights. Steve's got the analysis. We've got all the good stuff coming up at the half. West out in front here with 2:15 to go, 7-0.
Yeah, I mean, this back and forth stuff is what you hope for in a game. You don't want to, East had that. It just shows you offensively what happens when your defense can make a defensive stand for you, like they did down here with the 30-yard line, and they have methodically responded coming down the field. Right now, what I'm noticing is the East is coming out low and hard, and it looks like the defense is standing up, and I think that's why Skip, to your point, Nick, saw maybe these guys are a little bit fatigued. A lot of hitting, a lot of plays. It's a fast pace. And I think that get these guys a little water, a little pump up, and say, hey, this is the time you got to hold your lead. Good timing of the timeout for Kip Jackson to make that call. Team
East hoping to get back inside the red zone for just the second time in this first half. Their opening drive ended on a 4th down stop. Meanwhile, Tedesco spins his way into the red zone. He's down to the 16-yard line after an 8-yard pickup. That is his longest run of the first half.
Double handoff. Watch this. It gets a little hairy on there on the inside. There's one. There's two. But give the offensive line credit here. And you know what? Who was that? Tedesco that had it?
Yeah.
Give him
misspoke.
A lot.
He had the 15-yarder earlier in the drive.
Tremendous job of holding two hands on that football through that traffic.
So he had a 15-yard carry, then an 8-yard pickup, and now they watch Braley of Wyndham go around the corner, but hang on, there's a flag down back at the 11-yard line.
Boy, I'll tell you, there was a heck of a block there. We're going to see. I couldn't see who the number, but
officials going to get together as we hear for the 4th time.
Usually that's a holding call
from referee Carmine Lucanti.
Only defensive call I think of is if it was.
It's a hold.
Yeah, it's a hold. As if it's hands to the face on the defense or the helmet or something.
You can see Coach Abraham on the east sideline visibly upset.
Yeah, you can't blame him.
So they'll back it up. The question is where.
Can we see that again? Let's see if the one from the top, if we can get the top view there.
They're going to put it at the 22-yard line after the 10-yard penalty, so it's second down.
Let's see if we can see where the hold is here. Oh, I think they're going to get that front end block because his arms are around the back. But, boy, it was a pancake.
Here's a stretch run for Tedesco. He's got some room along the sideline, trying to tiptoe his way down to the 12, and that should be enough for a first down.
Wow.
Needed 8, gets 9.
Value of Tedesco in the big games throughout this year. I mean, Steve has a tremendous amount of faith, and why shouldn't he? Tedesco, he just cashes in for you every time he runs the ball.
Really?
He's got that Batstone-type attitude. These guys just, you talk,
He was outstanding the last couple of seasons for Salem.
He really was. He was a great junior. Good point. Yeah.
First down and 10 from the 12. Hirschberger of Campbell back to work, but he's going to be dragged down in the backfield. Yeah. That's a heck of an effort from Logan Paradise of Manchester West. Registering another tackle that results this time in a loss of 4. It's second down and 12.
Well, those kids from Manchester West, we did a game and saw them other times, and this team came to play this year, and they really started off on fire, and you can see why with players like this. So
second and 12 officially. Tedesco, another stretch run, does turn the corner, dashes out of bounds somewhere in the range of the 9-yard line.
Yep. Well, he's getting out of bounds, stopping the clock, Nick.
They're going to mark him where, Steve? At the 9?
At the 8, I think.
Let's call it the 8.
Yep. And it's third down. So the question is do you kick it if you've got a kicker? They chose not to do that earlier in the game. I think that would be about 32 yards, the one that they chose to go 4th and 6, I think you said, Nick. They chose to go for it. Let's see what happens here.
Third down and 6. The first down marker is at the 2-yard line.
Wonder what the play call is going to be.
Milocek fakes the handoff, now does give it to Hirschberger on a stretch run, and he's cut down along the sideline. That's Nathan Lyons of Plymouth making a diving tackle after only a 2-yard gain, and now decision time again for Coach Abraham with inside of a minute to go in this second quarter.
You think these kids don't want to win this game? They are going all out. This is a guy who woke up this morning who's thinking about this game, and that's it. And been thinking about it, couldn't wait to show his stuff.
There was Nyhan and then Paris who finished him off.
Yeah, making his team and the North Country proud with that Plymouth Bobcat attitude there. That's just great work.
And Paris has looked pretty good. Did take the penalty earlier, but outside of that has made a couple of tackles.
Yeah.
And I think is officially given credit there. So the Goffstown standout makes a difference.
Yeah.
And now, Team East again with 50 seconds to go, facing a 4th down and 5 from the west 7-yard line.
Yeah, my guess is that Steve will probably go at it again, Steve. I think he wants to score a touchdown. Again, a lot of it depends on what type of kicker you have, how much confidence you have, or
Well, the kicker's on the field.
the kicker's on the field, so
And we know
he's going to go.
We know his resume. That's Londonderry's Blake Thompson. Had a game winner in the semifinals at the buzzer
I'd let him kick.
to bring the Lancers back to the Division I state championship. Was a member of the basketball team in the winter
Yep.
and of the lacrosse team in the spring. So he's been busy since we last saw him in November.
You want to get on the board.
This one is a 25-yarder. It's a line
And
drive, and
no,
that is
to
no
the right.
good.
To the right, I
It
think,
is
right?
wide right. So Thompson unable to convert, and Team East is held off the board yet again.
Let's
The
take a look at
7-0
this
lead for West still
Slow
stands.
motion. It looked like it had a good set of eyes on it, and it went just outside of the upright. Now, you'll see a better look here. Yeah, he just kind of hooked it, and the spin of the ball took it about 4 feet 4 feet to the right. So goose eggs on the board for East. They've had a couple opportunities within range.
That was
you really want to execute to get that goose egg off the board.
That was Team East's most productive drive, 77 yards. It ate up the majority of the second quarter, but
Yep.
they have no points to show with now 47 seconds to go before the break.
Yeah, what are you going to say on that holding penalty? The guy was downfield just power driving the defender, Nick, and unfortunately he got his hand wrapped around the backside, and the official called it. But to me, that was the play, obviously. You got momentum down the drive. You got to believe they would have been able to get in the end zone because I think they were down to, the 6-yard line, would have been a first down. So that penalty was huge.
So Jack May and Team West
Yep.
back on the field. And just going to take a knee here, and looks like
Why would you?
Coach Jackson just wants to run out the clock. Coach Abraham does have all 3 timeouts, but
Yeah.
apparently not going to use them as the clock ticking now inside of 30 seconds.
Yeah, because he can run it out. Yeah.
Going to take another knee here,
Yep.
3rd down, and that may bring us to halftime.
Yep.
So, defense, the name of the game. One score that was from Concord's Colby Nyhan. Ran it in from 18 yards out to put West out in front 7-0. Nyhan added the extra point as well. Coming up, stats, highlights, analysis. And we'll look to track down a special guest or two as well for a live interview. So after the break, plenty to get to here in Manchester. Team West out in front of Team East, 7-0 at halftime. You are watching the 2025 CHaD East-West New Hampshire Football High School All-Star Game. Presented by Basque, right here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. We're presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Hi, Steve Beals here, back with Roger Brown from the New Hampshire Football Report. I'm going to hand this over to Nick, and you can do the interview. And
All right, Roger.
It's nice to be wanted.
Yes. We're fawning over you apparently up here.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Your overall impressions of that first half?
Unfortunately for the East, it's the same old story, right? Struggle to score. Looks like they're just going to, the obvious game plan with their loaded backfield was to run the ball. That's what Coach Abraham does at Salem, and it looks like that's what they're going to do. I think they attempted one pass. They're probably going to need a break or two because, it's going to be tough to hold the West without, any more scoring, and they're going to be methodical, the East, when they have the ball. So, another touchdown might be tough to overcome.
Yeah, looked like Kevin Tedisco did come alive on that final drive. He ends up with 56 yards on 11 carries in that first half. Team West obviously got the score. Colby Nyhan, an 18-yard touchdown run early in the second quarter. All in all, 3 carries for the Concord quarterback, 36 yards to lead Team West on the ground.
Yeah, defense is still dominating, I think, on both sides. I've been impressed with the West defense. I think coming in, I thought the East defense might have been the strength of both either unit, or either team, I should say. And they played well. It's been a fast-moving game. I'm sure the East regrets not being able to capitalize on that turnover early. When you get a gift like that, you got to turn it into points.
Yeah. You saw many of these players a week ago at your showcase, right? The Gridiron Showcase over. Was that here at St. A's?
Yeah, it was
as
here.
Well, yes.
Yeah, not these guys, Nick, because it's the show.
It's for the juniors.
Yeah, juniors and below. But yeah, we had a great turnout, 110 kids. Romy Jane, who I'm sure you remember, he got a Division I offer.
Former Sauhegan quarterback.
Yep, former Sauhegan quarterback. So it's a great event. We have another camp coming up July 19th. We got some UNH players going to help us out to do some community service, and that one's at going to be at St. Thomas Aquinas. So, it was a terrific event. I think the kids benefited a lot.
Looking forward to the second half here, you said you expect more of the same from Team East. Any adjustments for Team West?
I think the West is going to be pretty happy with how things are going. They've had a couple of big play opportunities, which I think, knowing their offensive staff, that's what they like to do. And defense has been stout. They got to be very, very happy with how their rush defenses performed so far. So more of the same for the West, I think, and the East is just going to have to find a way to get in the end zone.
Tackling numbers, Grant Harris of Sauhegan really stood out, 6 tackles. Also Joseph Dykstra with 6 for Team West. On the east side, Charlie Dulac leads the way with 5. And, of course, both defensive units came away with a takeaway in that first quarter.
Yeah, well, what did refresh me, what did the East get, or the West get for a takeaway?
We saw the interception on the opening drive.
Right, that was the East turnover, and that's what they needed. That's what's going to come back to haunt them, I think, if they lose this game by a touchdown is not being able to cash in. They did go for it on 4th down, and all that, but, when you get opportunities like that deep in the other team's territory, you got to get points, and then they miss the field goal. So, they're leaving a lot of points out there, I think.
And, of course, you'll have a complete recap, I assume, on your website, right?
Absolutely. Yep, I have a game recap and as well as other stories this week following up. Great event, means a lot more than football, as you know, Nick.
And, again, that's NHFootballReport.
You got it.
.com, NHFootballReport.com. The great Roger Brown, we appreciate your time. I'll let you get back upstairs.
Okay, Nick, thank you.
And we'll bring in now Steve Beals, along with the game's founder, Nick Valis, here to talk a little bit more about this great event here in Manchester.
So great to have the analysis of Roger Brown from the New Hampshire Football Report. And with us now is a friend for a long time that I've known and a real mentor to so many people. Most importantly today, Nick Valis, the founder of this unbelievable event. Nick, welcome to be with us today. Great having you.
It's a privilege being with you, Steve,
well,
and Nicholas, the other Nick.
Yeah, the other Nick. What will we do without Nick Anastas to kind of pull my weight? I always really appreciate that.
It's like a Greek wedding. You got Nick, and Nick.
A big fat Greek wedding for me. What a great movie that was. Nick, let's first start talking about the game here. I mean, this is a honey of a game. If you like hard-hitting, good fundamental tackling, and bang-up football with as you talked with me before, great sportsmanship out there, but every play hard-hitting. What do you make of what we're seeing so far in this half?
It's a great game. It's like teetering either way, right?
It is.
And each team is trying to find its footing, but they're punching each other in the face. It's really good.
Yeah,
I mean, it's great hard-nosed football, right?
You played at all levels, high school, college level, Nick, and you coached at the high school level as well for many years. What can you say about Kip Jackson and Steve Abraham as far as the quality? These guys are well-trained here today.
Talking about quality people. I mean, you don't get a quality coach without being a quality person, as you know. And just seeing how those men are working with these young men and how just in a short period of time to get them to play together, play with discipline, right, and sportsmanship, and truly playing for a cause greater than themselves. And those coaches exemplify that in spades. I mean, Steve, today we and counting over $300,000.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you about that. And the $300,000 just continues to grow after the fact.
Yeah.
This crowd was here early and stacked full. Yeah. And if you look from one end to the other, the bleachers are stacked. A lot of them down now getting a snack bar, hopefully raising some more money. Talk about your staff here, Nick. Everybody's walking around. These volunteers are walking around with smiles on their face. They feel, you can tell that this is a mission for them. What can you say about your staff here of people that make this event what it is?
You know what is permeating through the air? Love.
Yep.
Right? Love of the game. Love of the kids.
Yep.
Right? And
faith, hope.
Yeah. Just
you can feel it.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of love here, a lot of passion for a passionate game, as we all know. And all of us are just so darn lucky. We're privileged and blessed to be here together, sharing a great moment.
What a wonderful state we live in as far as the people that we have at Dartmouth Hitchcock, right at the center of that.
I mean, it's not hokey. You hear so much negativity if you pay attention to it.
Not today.
But oh my God,
talk about
the best
where
of humanity.
Absolutely, and talk about where that humanity meets these young people. Describe to us a typical patient that this money and services go, and then what this organization does to help that patient get well and work through tremendous adversity.
First and foremost, Steve, you and I have been blessed.
Yep.
All right?
Health.
These are children who, but no fault of their own, got seriously sick or injured. Okay, and the money we raise goes to typically to cover expenses that insurances don't cover. Not that the insurances are evil. There are many things that insurance doesn't pick up on.
Right.
As a matter of fact, leading cause of personal bankruptcy in America, in the state of America, in the state of New Hampshire.
Bills.
Yep, medical debt.
It's always been that in poor accounting, right?
Yeah.
Bad accounting.
So there, by the grace of God, other than the pain and suffering you go through, now you're bankrupt.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep, absolutely.
So we do what we can.
Tell us where the money goes exactly. What are the things, the expenses that you were talking about?
For an example, if your child's in Hanover, and all of a sudden you don't have the means to commute and stuff. It could be hotels, could be gas cards,
food.
Food. But we in the hospital we buy toys and things insurance companies aren't going to pay for.
Well, wellness is more than just medication and surgeries. Those are the core elements that put the physical. But there's so much. Talk about the other things that work to make a patient well. The things around that.
So probably the greatest contribution, Steve, is purchasing and creating an environment for these children where they don't feel institutionalized. So that their state of mind, is that such that it's a positive attitude, positive experience, which improves healing.
I'm going to beat this thing, right?
Yeah. Gives you hope, greater hope, and and comfort, and because oftentimes children's sickness is protracted.
Yep.
It's not like one and you're done, Steve.
Right.
Many times,
it's a process.
Many times it's many months.
Yep.
If not years, and there are so many stories. Even today, I mean, we have kids playing in the game who've been patients at Children's Hospital.
Or have family members who were touched by it. I mean, we have coaches here that coach over this many years this game has been played that have been touched by it.
And how lucky are we in this little old state of New Hampshire have a world-class medical center taking care of children.
There's a tendency in this state one of the reasons I moved here almost going on 38 years ago was because of the feeling that we pull our bootstraps up and we work together in the private sector to take care and fill those things that the public sector doesn't, and that's what makes New Hampshire such an attractive place. Nick, if somebody, again, $300,000 raised at the event and counting, but if we really want to make this count, and people that are watching our program today will watch it on a rebroadcast, where do they donate, and what can they do?
Just get online. Children's Hospital of Dartmouth.
Children's Hospital of Dartmouth online,
and they'll have all the instructions.
Yeah, you Google that, and you're going to find it. And then at that point, there's a price point. There's a place where you can give. Yep. Please give to this incredible. This is helping children who are badly in need and putting families able to be together with those children and with them to create a healing environment.
Yeah.
Nick, let's go back to football from that, which this game is all about. What do you see here? What have you seen so far? Let's be Coach Nick for a second. If you're East, what do you see?
I see hard-nosed, disciplined football being played.
Yep.
Not a lot of dumb mistakes, right? Which you can get when kids have. They've only been together a week and a half, and so they're playing extremely well, and they're playing with class. They're not. Let's hopefully continue in the second half. This game can go either way. But typically, the East, on paper, looks like they're the better team, but the West comes to play. Right?
Yeah, they are. I mean,
every year.
I just can't believe the stamina of these kids. They must be ready to go play some college football because they are in shape.
Yeah.
Nick Valis, thank you so much for the founding of this thing. Guys. How are the 5 boys doing?
They're doing exceptionally well. I am blessed.
Yeah,
that's why I'm here.
Yeah, you have a great family. How about Marianne? How's she doing?
She's doing great as well. Yeah.
Give her our best from Friday Night Lights, will you?
I will, buddy.
Thanks always for
you.
What you do. You're here. You do all the hard work with a great group of people, and we just love coming here Friday Night Lights and helping participate get this out to as many people
as
possible.
We have a great team at CHaD. And,
it really is. This thing's getting stronger every single year.
Nico, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. All right. See you, all right.
How Nick remembers all these people. Like, I have to go down and search the roster. Nick just says, how the heck did he know all this stuff? But,
he's a savant.
He is. He certainly is.
He's Greek.
Well, we all have a little Greek in us, right? If you love democracy, we've all got a little Greek in us.
It all started with us.
God bless you.
Even football.
God bless you, brother. All right?
Thank you, Stephen.
Good to see you as always.
God give us strength.
I just patted Nick in the back, and I can tell you he's still hitting it now. Thanks again, Nick. All right? We'll have a good game. Good second half here.
That's Nick Valis, the founder of this great event here, the CHaD East-West High School New Hampshire Football All-Star Game. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals here, beginning of the second half. And Team East trailing 7-0 after the opening kickoff of the third quarter. Sets them up at the 25-yard line. They're going to lose ground here. Again, that is Goffstown standout Max Cody starting to rack up some tackles defensively. That one for a 1-yard loss.
I don't know if you've seen Coach Boquette on the sidelines. He better strap up, get some pads and a uniform on, because he gets any further out in the field and ready. He wants to get in there and make something. He is pumped up about his defense, and he has good reason to be, Nick, holding a shutout to Team East, who's a talented group on both sides of the ball. Coach Boquette's got a lot to be happy about what he's seen so far.
Technically now 6 straight scoreless quarters from Team East. If you remember, they were shut out last year as Team West captured the victory 24-0.
How do the stats look in between, Nick? I know you analyze them.
We'll get to those right? in just a second. Meanwhile, Wyndham's Brealey to the right side is dropped at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they're motivated.
Fired up is Aaron Fellows of Newport High School, representing the Tigers with a nice open field tackle there. And we've got ourselves a 3rd and 11 coming up for Team East.
Yeah.
Some of those numbers, Steve, you alluded to. First of all, total offense actually favored Team East, 129 yards on 33 snaps. Team West managed 119 on 27.
That last drive for East racked it up.
It sure did. 77 yards on a scoreless drive that was stopped on a 4th down at the 7-yard line. Meanwhile, 3rd and 11. Hirschberger is the back. The quarterback is Crawford, who we saw come off the bench and play pretty well, the Alvern QB. Is in the gun here with 3 receivers to his left. The pitch is left.
I like the play call.
Trying to maneuver is Nicholas Hirschberger, and he's not going to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. Defensive speed here on West, Nick, is really showing up here. Their lateral movement to the outside and the lanes that they're choosing, and then the outside in seal, and then always seal the run inside and then just give those guys an opportunity to roam across the field. They're staying square. All the fundamentals are in line here for Team West on defense. East has got to do so. They had some misdirection going that was working for them. Want to see if they'll get back to that as time goes on here.
So a 3 and out.
Yep.
Devin Bowles' third punt of the game on the way from his 15-yard line, the left-footed punter. It's a rainbow kickoff. It's going to land and bounce across midfield. And they're going to spot it right at the 50-yard line. So, again, gorgeous starting field position for Team West.
As we know, watch Devin here. He has a guy in his face again. He's looking to punt. Boom. He's got him right in his face. He hasn't been able to step forward and be the great punter that he is because he's getting too many people that are coming right at him, and he has to almost aim the ball out of a lane, a kicking lane, where he doesn't get it blocked. So he's skilled at doing that, but you really want to have Devin, if you got to use his foot, you want him to have an opportunity to get a good running start at it. So, boy, there's a heavy camera.
That time it was Trevor Wong of Manchester Central bringing the heat.
Yep.
So, the Bedford quarterback, Jack May,
he's
got to plant the foot and overshoot his intended target.
Yeah, Jack's arm is hot today, Nick. You can see it's just sailing off of his fingers there. Looks to me like he's just not. It looks like he's coming off of his back foot just a little bit. Again, hasn't played. This kid's a great quarterback. Anybody would want him to play for their team. But if you look at the back foot here, just kind of lifts it up and comes off the back foot rather than come across his body. And he's not missing by much. But, boy, he's getting some separation with his receivers. He starts hitting those, and watch West ring up some points.
Here's a screen on 2nd down and 10, and David Frechette. A little bit of running room. He's cut down at about the 43-yard line after a 7-yard pickup. That'll set up 3rd down and 3. Frechette from Hanover, he was busy.
Good job
in that
by
first
Jack.
half. 15 yards on 4 carries, makes his first catch. That's the first completion of the afternoon for May.
Jack knew exactly where his release receiver was, and he hit him square, and he got some yardage. Let's see if they can get a first down here.
On 3rd and 3,
wow,
Reese
nice
Claremont
stop.
of Merrimack Valley is stopped dead in his tracks.
52.
You're right. Big hit by Robert Hamway of Wyndham. Woo. Called his name a couple of times.
Yeah.
That's a 1-yard loss. And a 4th down and 4 coming up. We'll see if Coach Jackson keeps the offense on the field.
I didn't get a chance to ask you, Nick, how to go with Roger. What was Roger's assessment, a quick view there? Was he?
Well, he said, in a nutshell, Team East has got to capitalize on those opportunities.
Yeah.
We saw them stop twice in the red zone in that first half. Meanwhile, an early timeout is called here from Team East as the defense looks to make another 4th down stop. Our broadcast is brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations in Bedford, Londonderry, and Epping. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance gets you the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit MGSportsFundraising.com and start raising money for your team today. And finally by the New Hampshire Tomahawks. Showcase and development for college lacrosse. Find out more at NHTomahawks.com and also girls.NHTomahawks.com. So 4th down and 3 officially. Coach Jackson wants to go for it. He's going to leave May on the field. And the Bedford quarterback is in the gun with a receiver to his right, 2 stacked up to the left. Going to check the play at the line of scrimmage. Team West with 3 down linemen.
This is just tremendous faith in your defense, Nick. That's what he knows. He trusts his defense. He's got field position. So why not?
They're going to rush 4. The throw is incomplete.
Again. Yep.
Again, trying to hook up with Manchester Memorial's Colin Bailu, who did get the step, but that one overthrown. So the drive sputters out, and Team East set to take over at their own 43-yard line here with just about 4 minutes gone by in this third quarter.
Yeah, I think that's a 4th sail by Jack. Everything is right on the proper lane. It's just coming off his fingers high. Watch the release point. See, the release point is way up high. And you know, you're trying to get chemistry in a couple of weeks on a pass on a full stride passing game is a difficult thing to do. Jack's got a terrific arm. It just looks like he's releasing it a little bit off the back foot and kind of releasing it high. So
Second drive of the quarter for Team East. Malocek, just his second pass, is tipped away.
Yep.
And incomplete. Good defensive effort there from Peter Schwazo of Bedford.
Yeah.
Got two hands on the football there, incomplete.
Yeah, you're going to see here that what happened was that ball was a wounded duck. It just didn't come off. Watch the release. You'll see it wobbling. Right there. And that gave the time that it lost a little bit of distance. He was open if he could have got it to him. So
only one pass attempt total for Team East in that first half.
Yep. Yeah, they were they had a nice thing going there when they were using a lot of misdirection. They went to that jet motion, and they started working that, and then cutting back, countering inside. That was really working for them because they were able to get the cross blocks and the down blocks, kickouts, and to open up lanes for these great runners that they have. So surprised that they've kind of left that. Let's see if they go back to it.
Malocek, double wing here. He's under center, one man in motion. It's Tedesco. They hand to him. The Salem running back trying to get around the corner, but he's ridden down.
Yeah.
Logan Paradise again,
defense.
Representing Manchester West. Got him around the waist.
Yeah.
It's a 2-yard gain, Steve, and we got a 3rd and 8.
Yeah, both teams have tackled well. No argument. Have been excellent tackling. But Team West has been able to tackle as a team and contain these runs on the down and distance situation. They've been winning the battles on defense. If it's 2nd and 3, they've been getting them down to the line of scrimmage. If they needed 12 yards, they're only getting 6, and they're putting them at 4th and 6, 4th and how many of those we've seen. So the defense is just coming out, and East just doesn't have an answer to get into the end zone. However, they've had the ball on good long drives for at least 2, maybe 3. I think it was 2. Just not able to get it in the end zone.
Team East just 1 for 8 so far on 3rd down. Malocek survives the first hit, but he won't survive the second. Tripped up and taken down by Michael Haney of Merrimack Valley, making a big play as he shoots into the backfield. It's a big loss.
Yeah.
Ball spotted back at the 32-yard line, and it's 4th down and a mile.
He's a low to begin with. I'm not sure he got touched. Watch. Let's just see him.
Yep.
Yeah, he never got touched.
Right off
little
the corner.
miscue right there. It looks like to me they had a guy. They brought him up the inside gap, and nobody picked him up in the outside. The quarterback's got to be aware of that if he sees it. But he turned his back the other way, and that's why. He had the handoff on the right side. So really, if you're going to open up on that side and handoff, you've got to have someone sealing the outside come the backside of the quarterback there. Something went wrong there.
Bowles this time does have some room.
Yep.
Gets off a pretty good one. It's a spiraling punt.
He's going to get a roll, too, so and no run back. So
out of bounds where? At the 33-yard line. That's where Team West will take over. So the West defense forcing 2 straight 3-and-outs to begin this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I mean, this is Devin was able to get a good kickoff there, so at least they got a little bit of a field position, pinned them back around the 30-something yard line before. But the defense, again, has got to make a stop here. You can't let this game just doesn't have a feel like it's going to work too well if you're down by 2 full scores. You've almost got to stay within 1 score here. If they were able to get get the goose egg off the board at the end of the 2nd quarter, who knows? But coming out without anything in the first half, they really got to bear down here and make something happen on defense and get the ball back to the yard.
Second drive for Team West begins at their own 33-yard line,
and
a run up the middle is stuffed. No running room.
Yep.
Kucher of Londonderry.
Going to UNH, I believe, last I heard. Had many colleges looking at him.
Yeah, he's really the nose in that 3-4, and he clogged up the hole there.
Tremendous player. Plays with a lot of heart, plays intelligent, and he's got a lot of good fundamentals. His handwork is good. He's got tremendous power to lift a defensive player and then have his way with him with his moves.
Receiver screen right side, making a man miss after making the catch is Jaden Paris of Goffstown.
Yep.
And he swims his way up to the 40-yard line. That's a 7-yard gain, 3rd and 3 on the way.
Yeah, nice job by Dulac again on he's a good tackler. Watch this tackle as he comes up and he breaks down. Very, very good form. And he holds him right. This is a big 3rd down, Nick. Needless to say, this is really big for East here. They've got to begin to change the paradigm of this game, and he got back.
A little movement on the line, but no flags. Nyhan, the quarterback, looks to Coach Jackson on the west sideline. 4 receiver set, 2 to each side. East going to rush 4. He's going to run right up the middle, but that is stopped. Kucher again is there to meet him. After only a yard gain up to the 41-yard line, it's 4th down and 2 coming
Interesting
up.
call. Looks to me like they're bringing the punter out in the field, Nick. He's not going to take any chances. Again, Kip Jackson, it's clear, has tremendous trust in his defensive unit. He's going to punt it away because he believes if he can maintain the field position battle, it's in his favor. This
Back
defense
deep
has been lethal.
for Team East is Kalen Smith. Nyhan stays on the field to punt, but we're going to get a timeout first. Coach Jackson going to use his first timeout here at the midway point, 3rd quarter. Reminder, like and subscribe. Friday Night Lights New Hampshire is on YouTube. FNL NH Media is the channel. And you want to stay in the know by hitting both the subscribe button and the bell icon. You'll be notified when we go on live. And of course, the 2025 high school season begins early, a week or so before the official kickoff with the Manchester Football Jamboree in late August. So like and subscribe now so you're set to go for Labor Day weekend.
And we guarantee, well, Ben guarantees, our director, that there'll be no junk sent to you. Strictly, all we send is when you hit the bell icon is when we're going live with an event, and pretty much virtually nothing else unless it was something very, very unique. So very judicious with that, and we appreciate those who are subscribers and want those notifications. We respect your...
Again, FNL NH Media, the channel on YouTube. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals, and the rest of our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire family. The decision is punt here on 4th and 2. Nyhan to his right gets off a rainbow kick. It's an end-over-end spiral.
He got what he wanted.
At the 35-yard line.
Oh, yeah, you got 10 more.
Yep, Team West going to get a friendly roll as the ball is finally down at the 25.
What a versatile player this young man is. He had me thinking he may try to stretch the corner. Quite frankly, I think if he took it, I think he just followed the rules, what the coaches wanted. But I really believe he had that edge if he wanted it.
And, of course, Nyhan responsible for the game's only score so far. That was officially a 19-yard touchdown run early in the 2nd quarter. And Nyhan added the extra point kick as well. 7-0. That's where we are here with 7 minutes and change to go in the 3rd quarter.
Yep.
West looking to win their 5th straight and the 10th in this series here in the 13th annual CHaD East-West New Hampshire Football High School All-Star Game.
We'll see if this offensive line can come out and open up some space for these runners.
Up the middle, little hesitant run there for Brealey. And he's gang tackled down at the 30-yard line, or just shy of the 30 after a 4-yard pickup. 2nd down and 6 coming up. Paradise given credit for the stop.
Yep.
Along with the linebacker Jeff Hickey of Trinity.
This game, with all of this feeling of an advantage right now as far as the play of West so far, the fact is this game's within one score of changing that fast. Let's see what East can do.
Got a 5-man front here for Team West. Team East stays on the ground.
Good blocking.
And rolling his way up close to the 1st down is Tedisco again. He's been the bell cow for Coach Abraham.
Binder with a nice block downfield.
That's the 15th carry tonight for Tedisco. He's up over 60 yards on that carry.
Yep.
6 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Tedisco going to jog off the field and have a word with Coach Abraham. As we know, those two are very close. Coach Abraham, longtime head coach at Salem High School. Tedisco, a recent grad. 3rd down and 1, a loaded backfield. Crawford takes a gun snap. The handoff is to Hirschberger. And the Campbell standout, I believe, does have enough for that 1st down.
Looks like he got it.
Needed only a yard, gets 2 up to the 36.
Well, there's plenty of time to work it downfield slowly and methodically, Nick, without question. So you can get a 3rd and 6 inches. I'm pretty sure the offensive coaching staff will take that. But they've had some – they get past midfield. They can go down and get some points in the board. This game is going to change. The whole dynamic is going to change in this game.
It's been ground and pound for Team East. Only 2 pass attempts, no completion. The rest has been all rushes. Handoff, Batstone bounces right side, splits defenders across the 40 and tripped up near the marker. In fact, he does have enough, a 12-yard gain. They spot him at the 47.
He's got the forward lean down to a science. You look at all the great runners in football that somehow you say, that guy, how did he get 160 yards rather than 109?
Right.
It's because of that lean forward where they're able to get 3, 4, 5 extra yards per carry just by expending themselves and getting that forward lean. They become very difficult to bring down.
May have gotten more, if not for Joe Dykstra of John Stark.
Exactly.
That's his 7th tackle, Steve.
Yep.
Starting to lead the way for Team West. On 1st and 10, back to Tedesco, a right side run. He's across midfield, down to the 49-yard line after a 3-yard carry.
I really enjoy watching some of the players coming down from or into the game from Division 3 and 4 and watching them compete. They've been doing it all game. We've seen it every game.
Yeah.
They come down and they're the leaders of their team. They're probably the best players on their team coming down to represent, and they represent their teams well, and they show why they deserve to be here, and they hang right in there with the guys who are coming in from Division 1 and 2. So,
yeah, last year the MVP was from Newport.
Yep,
representing the Tigers out of Division 3, and the winner of the Bo Dixon
Award
last
right
year
there.
was of course Kyle Ashley.
Yep.
After a big defensive effort, the West shut out the East, as we mentioned, 24-0. Meanwhile, Coach Abraham sticks to the run game. And that's going to set up a 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, sticks to the run game, but sticks in playing with this misdirection game a little bit and starting to stretch the off tackle a little bit and getting outside. That was just a great job of turning upfield on that play. And they're going to have to continue to do that. But they are methodically moving the ball, to your point, Nick, by the running game down the field. Don't be surprised if you see a play action here any moment.
3rd and 1 from the West 43. Handoff. Hirschberger spins in the hole. He's got the 1st down.
Yep.
And it takes about 7 guys to finally put a stop to the run. He's inside the 40. They're going to mark him at the 39.
Did you say 6,000 yards?
Yeah, for a career.
I mean, you think about that.
Right.
60 football fields.
Right. Right.
He got in, it's only 12-minute quarters, and it's a short season. That's incredible.
Campbell, Steve, the only number 1 seed to win the championship
last
in
year.
2024. Yep. They were the kings of Division 3, as we know.
Yep.
1st and 10. Tedesco through the hole, right side, makes a man miss at the 35, tiptoes along the sideline, and it's tackled beyond the 1st down marker inside the 30 at the 29. That's a 14-yard pickup.
Look at the downfield blocking here that they're getting up. Look at the corner, 27. They're sealing and then just letting Tedesco go one-on-one with somebody. Usually the cornerback or the safety go one-on-one, and you can see almost every time Tedesco goes one-on-one, he's going to win the battle.
Paradise spun him out of bounds.
Yep.
And Team East back on the march. Remember, they put together a 77-yard drive at the tail end of that 2nd quarter, but came away empty. They are 0 for 2 in the red zone in this game. 2.5 to go in the 3rd quarter. It's still a 7-0 West lead. 1st and 10 for Team East. Handoff. Batstone again turns his back to the defense. Cody's going to plant him down at about the 26 after a gain of 3.
Yep. Boy, he was so important to Exeter's success last season. Just a fun guy to watch, and, Exeter excellent offensive lines, and Batstone made the best of every single carry that he got. He doesn't fumble. He's got great ball security and a great attitude out there. If you were a lineman, you want a guy like Batstone taking the lanes that you create for him because he maximizes it. So
Harris,
offensive line doing a good job here for East.
Sauhegans Harris along with Cody credited with the co-stop on that one. Meanwhile, on 2nd down and 7, another right side run.
Who was that?
Peter Suazo on the tackle.
That Hirschberger?
And it was Hirschberger again on the carry. They're going to give him 4 there to set up a 3rd down and 3.
The low center of gravity on this young man. So this is clearly 4-down territory right here. So your playbook can be adjusted accordingly. You don't have to get the 1st down. You want to, but you can organize a play for more short yardage.
4 yards to go.
Oftentimes you'll see if you definitely know you're going to go in 4, you could see them pull out, go for pay dirt here, and go with a little bit of a play-action pass. We'll see what they do.
A 3rd down and 4 with $1:20 and counting remaining 3rd quarter. Brealey, left side, looking for the edge, and he is tackled in the backfield.
Got to turn upfield. If he has a step on you, you turn right on the inside of his body and grab what yardage is there. Now you're in a 4th and 6 situation. Watch this. Just too much outside stuff. Don't juke. Just go. Just go. Turn upfield on the inside of that hip. Watch him here. He should turn right here, go on the inside of that hip, and grab the yardage. If it's only 1.5 yards, now you're only looking at 2.5 instead of 4th and 6.
Good solo tackle there for Trevor Wong.
Yeah, let's not take away from that, right?
Manchester Central's standout. Starting to make his imprint here defensively for Team West.
Yep.
Down to 30 seconds here, and another 4th down on the way. Team East has not had tremendous success on 4th down.
Steve did not want to take this timeout right here.
That's the second timeout for Team East.
Did not want to do that, but was forced to because you've got to think about game situation right here. Down and distance, what do? You got to organize your line. You got to have your offensive coordinator, set the tone of what the play is going to be and make sure that all of the points of attack are properly. Get your guys some water. This is it. Not this is it for the whole game, but this is a big moment in the game if they can pull this one off. But again, moving the ball forward. You got to play games like the offensive sets like the double wing and things like that. You've got to get yardage, even if it's a yard. You got to make sure you're moving the football across the line of scrimmage every game. You cannot juke outside and then get tackled behind the line on 3rd and 4. Now 4th and 6 should have been like 3rd and 2 or 4th and 2. And those are big things. Those are teaching moments that you got to do. This is a big time here. So clearly out from what we can sense, out of range for the kicking game. So they're going for it.
Be a 42-yard field goal attempt. They're going to keep the kicker on the sideline. They're going to send out Crawford, the Alvern standout, who's in the gun. It takes a snap and is in trouble. Scrambles right, looking for the sideline. Does get off the pass, and it is complete at the 10-yard line.
Give that quarterback so much credit.
Jack Katrobis able to leave his feet and pull that one in. Knew the hit was coming, took a pop from behind, able to hang on and survive the hit to keep the drive alive for Team East. They are back inside the red zone for the 3rd time.
Well, we saw it when he played for Wyndham, Nick. We saw a few games there. He bought time for his football team, and he found the receiver. And give number 20, Katrobis, a lot of credit there. And that just great job by number 12.
Crawford.
Crawford just buying time there.
That's it for the 3rd quarter.
Big play.
West with a 7-0 lead, but East is knocking on the door. Can they tie the game, or does West survive to win their 5th straight? We find out on the other side. 4th quarter next. You're watching the 2025 CHaD East-West High School Football New Hampshire All-Star Game. Right here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. We are presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Well, Team East trailing 7-0, but here they are back in the red zone on a 1st and 10. It's a double handoff. And cut down inside the 10. Down around the 8-yard line is Kevin Tedisco. He's been the workhorse tonight for East head coach Steve Abraham. That Salem Blue Devil connection has kept East in the game, but the West defense has kept them off the scoreboard. Will that hold? We've got a 2nd down and 8 on the way from the 9-yard line.
2nd down and 8.
And another lengthy drive here being put together by Charlie Crawford of Alvern. The quarterback is under center against a 5-man front. Handoff for Batstone, who was dragged down from behind, shy of the 5-yard line. He's going to set up a 3rd down and 4, maybe 5. Nice tackle there from Jacob Sheff of Bedford.
Well, Nick, you're in the 4th quarter here. I'm not sure this is a field goal at this point here. If they can get 2 to 3 yards and be within 2, and you got runners like Batstone.
East was denied twice in the first half inside the 20-yard line. Their 77-yard drive late in the second quarter came to a stop at the 7-yard line. Here they are at the 6, facing a 3rd down and 5.
It looks like they're gonna spread out just a little bit.
Receiver, top of the screen, is Kalen Smith of Salem.
Couple of double wings there.
Snap, fake handoff, and Crawford got hit from behind from his own guy. The ball is out, and Team West is going to come away with a takeaway.
Don't really understand that play, Nick. That was it'd be interesting to see what broke down there. I mean, you're on the 5-yard line and you've got no problem running off tackle. I get that, but just go for it.
Meanwhile, I may have spoken too soon. Team West, they were adamant that they had the football, but still no signal.
No, it looks like West is jumping up and down. So
and the referee, Carmen LeConte, says slow down here. The officials are still talking about it.
Yeah, they are.
He's holding up the 4th down fist.
Let's see if we can take a look here.
So I think Team East does still have the football.
Let's take a look. Here
the West defense is coming back on the field.
All right, so let's see. So I do not understand what was going on there with Hirschberger, and
he ran into Crawford from behind.
Okay, we're going to get a better look right here now.
The spacing was not proper. All right, Team East did officially recover.
Yep, they can see it. He's got it.
They lost about 6 yards in the process. The ball is back at the 12-yard line. The 1st down marker is at the 1, so it's 4th and 11. And there is Carmine LeConte, the referee, addressing the crowd. Meanwhile, Malocek, the quarterback, takes the snap. Handoff left side to Disco. Looks for a block at the 10. Leaps a man at the 9, but is dashed out of bounds. Well shy of the 1st down marker. Colby Nyhan credited with the stop, and now Team West will take over deep in their own end with their 7-0 lead still intact.
Yeah, you have to ask yourself, why not give on 3rd and 5, give Tedesco the ball right from the beginning to you've got one of the top runners in big-time situations in the whole state. Offensive line seems to be pretty motivated with getting off the ball pretty well for him. Really surprised that they didn't use him on that 3rd situation and get him in close. But that's 3 situations where they're one on the 19, I think one on the down to the 6, I think it was before, and then one down to the 5-yard line and nothing to show for it. Let's not lose sight of the credit we need to give this West defense as well at the same time. They have not made it easy.
West looking to win their 5th straight. They lead the all-time series 9-3. Coach Jackson has been the head coach for Team West for now 3 straight seasons.
Yep.
And his defense last year did come away with a shutout. 24-0 was the final.
Yeah, when you talk to Kip Jackson, you can see he's a leader, and he builds strong, good teamwork from the coaching staff around him. He's a guy that you like to coach for, as is Steve Abraham. Both of these guys are class acts.
2nd down and 9. Nyhan out of the gun, fakes the handoff, runs up the middle.
Nice pickup, though. Not
going to get much as he stopped at about the 10-yard line. First man on the scene for Team East was Felix Gonzalez of Salem.
Looked like number 70 was in on that tackle right there for that's Colin Kucha. One of my favorites. Look at that tackle right there. He is a house. Last I knew, I hope I'm still right, he was going to UNH. He's going to give the hometown crowd in the state a lot of fun over the years to watch.
He's been on the field a ton here today,
yes,
lining up at nose tackle. Here's a screen, and that is blown up. Again, it's Gonzalez there.
So impressive.
Who wraps up Frechette immediately. No gain. This West offense has been stuck in the mud here in the second half. It's another 3 and out.
You're absolutely right. Nice pickup here. Look at that pickup by Gonzalez. He's built for that. He's shot. We saw him when he was a sophomore checking into the game.
Yeah.
And he's just grown every single year. He's a smart football player. He's well coached, been well coached.
And for as much well-deserved attention as Tedesco got with Salem, the counterpart to that was always Gonzalez.
And he made Tedesco better, and they both made each other better.
Nyhan out of his own end zone gets off a pretty good kick. It's down the middle. It lands shy of the 40, takes a bounce across the 40 and rolls its way up to the 43, maybe the 44. Either way, mission accomplished there for the East defense.
I mean, these defenses, you expect the defenses, Nick, in a game like this with limited practice time to be better. There's no argument. And that's why we see a lot of running in this game. West has had open receivers with 4 or 5 yard separation, and Jack's thrown some bullets down the field. It's just they've just sailed. And he had at least 3 of them I know. And if you take a guy like Jack May, you give him time with the receivers, weeks and months and to get together here, that he can hit those for sure.
Meanwhile, a few of the West defenders a little late getting onto the field. That's going to force Coach Jackson's hand as he calls his second timeout here with just about 4 minutes gone by in this fourth quarter.
I coached for years, and I did not like giving up timeouts. I'll tell you that right now. Drove me crazy when we had to call a timeout like that. And I was fortunate to have some really good assistant coaches over the years. And, I coached junior high level there, and that's a lot of fun. Let me tell you, guys just developing. And discipline is so much a part of the game. You can't have these breakdowns because you get a tie ball game. You're going down the end of the game, the field, and you run out of timeouts. That can change a game. The senseless timeouts drive good coaches crazy.
Meanwhile, perhaps here in the fourth quarter, fatigue starting to set in for the West defense. Team East had a 7-minute advantage in the time of possession category in the first half.
Yep.
That gap seemingly has only widened here since the break. Malocek out of the timeout, airs it out, just the third pass attempt tonight, and that one is incomplete, trying to hook up with Katrobis, who had the step along the near sideline.
That's just a good job by Jaden Paris there from Goffstown. He did a good job, pedaling back with his receiver, and he didn't give him any kind of open space. But that ball, regardless, that ball was a lot of balls sailing tonight. I don't really understand it, other than the fact that you don't have enough time to prepare for these. And a lot of passes, again, that was released too high as well. So
not a whole lot of wind here in Manchester tonight.
The trees look, even up high, look pretty steady.
74 degrees at game time. Here at the 8 o'clock hour, it's dropped down to 69. Meanwhile, handoff to Braley on 2nd and 10, and he is cut down again in the backfield.
22.
This kid is standing out here. Souhegan's Grant Harris, 6 tackles at halftime. Big stop for a loss there. It's third down and about 17.
Yeah, I mean, there's some that you benefit from the team, and there's others that are just defensive individual efforts, and that's just nothing short of individual effort there. Will not be denied. You're not going to get by me, and he just chose a great defensive lane there to attack the runner, and he never had an opportunity even to turn his shoulder upfield. That's just great tackling. And again, that Souhegan Division II champions this year. You can see with players like that why it turned out that way.
As a 4 seed,
we enjoyed watching them play.
Knocked off both Plymouth and Pelham. Deep throw, intercepted. Picked off at the 10-yard line. Peter Suazo of Bedford.
I think Steve will take that.
Makes the grab in a crowd, and West's going to take over.
Yep.
So East, after only throwing 2 passes through 3 quarters, throw 2 on that drive, but to the wrong team as West comes away with the takeaway.
Yeah, to me, running misdirection plays with Tedesco and Batstone, you've got two runners that the defense, I don't care how good the defense is, they have to look at these guys and they have to cover them and they have to expend resources on defense against them. I mean, start working. Every time that they do that, they do seem to move the ball methodically down the field, and then something changes when they get down inside, and a lot of that is the West defense, but they are changing some of the play calling, going away from the thing that got them down the field to the 5, 19 and 6-yard line on those 3 drives. So when you got runners like that, just keep banging them. Grab the short yardage that you can, and they're going to break them if you keep giving them, especially on misdirection and utilizing both of them, in an equitable fashion.
Now May is going to air it out for Team West, and that one incomplete. Along the far sideline.
Yeah, he aired
trying
it out.
To find, I believe, Luke Peters of Nashua North.
He aired it out, but you watch Jack on this play. Now look at the release point. Off of his front foot that time, not his back foot. If we can show that for the quarterbacks out there, much better thrown ball. Watch him off the front foot. He releases. See? Off the front foot. the ball stays much, much closer. He's not far off right now. Boy, he can throw the ball.
2nd down and 10 from the 10.
Much better form and technique by Jack there. That's more the Jack May we saw all year long.
3 receivers, 2 to the left side. Wong is the back. May is going to go back to the air, or will he? Yes, he's got his tight end. Near side, that's the Exeter standout. No, that's Michael Haney of Merrimack Valley, who's got the first down and then some.
I've
up the
heard about him.
sideline, up across the 40-yard line. First catch for Haney, and a big play for Team West as they get a little bit of breathing room there.
Yeah, we hear about him. My boys listening to a podcast there with Dave and Pete on Sunday, and they talked a lot. They were up there a lot in those teams, and they talked about Haney, and he's showing us today that was a bowl over by Haney of the defensive player. And
of course, you mentioned our friends over at the New Hampshire Sports page,
Yep.
Dave Haley and Pete Terrier.
Yep.
1st down and 10. Out of the gun, May, the handoff. Running room this time on the right side for Paris, who is up to the 48-yard line, tackled inbounds. So Paris made some plays defensively, had a first down run in the first half, had a catch, adds another first down run. Not quite here, a 9-yard pickup to set up 2nd down and 1.
Speaking of media, our friend Joe Marshallina pacing the sidelines, taking notes, getting good material.
As usual, from
Joe's everywhere.
NHHighschoolsports.com. We spoke with Roger Brown of the New Hampshire Football Report at halftime, and of course the game's founder, Nick Valis, of the Bedford Ambulatory Surgical Centers. Of course, this game broadcasted live worldwide here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, as we see May pick up a first down run for Team West. And, of course, the archive version will be available at any time on our YouTube channel, FNL NH Media. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. 13th annual CHaD East-West New Hampshire Football High School All-Star Game. Team West zeroing in on perhaps their 5th straight win. They lead the all-time series by a count of 9-3.
I think if they give Jack another throw here.
And they will.
Yeah.
Out of the slot, the catch for Haney.
He's on now.
He's near the marker. He's going to roll up close to the 35-yard line.
Well, the sun's gone down. The lights are shining off his helmet, and he's looking more like the Jack May now. I watch quarterback form. His mechanics are better. Looks like he's starting to settle in a little bit. If I was a defensive backfield, I'd be looking to stay with those receivers, Nick, more than ever now.
Yeah.
Because I think he's got his best on right now.
Of course, he led Bedford to an undefeated regular season before the Bulldogs bowed out in the semifinals to eventual Division I champion Pinkerton.
Yeah.
On the ground here on 2nd and short, another first down as May has looked good with the legs as well.
Yeah,
here,
good-looking drive here he's got going. Both quarterbacks from West, Nyhan as well as Jack, have looked excellent today. Again, when I say excellent, aside from Jack's throwing over, but the second half, fourth quarter, it looks totally different, the passing game, the way the ball's releasing from his hands.
This, meanwhile, has been a 57-yard drive. It began back at the West 10-yard line. This one is incomplete, trying to find Peters along the near side.
You don't see that very often, Peters dropping a ball. He is a sure-handed receiver. Yeah, it looks like he just started to turn to run a little bit early. He knows it. Nobody watching him play for Nashua North this year.
Was he a 4-year starter? He may have been.
I think he was. You have one of the great calls, Nick. We have it in the beginning of the game that you made, and Peters deep slant over his back. He's a talented young man.
Of course, his older brother was a standout for the Titans as well. Meanwhile, there's a flag on the play.
Yep.
As May skirts along the near sideline.
Coming back, I think.
Flag is in the backfield, back at the 39-yard line.
I think it's a hold coming back.
We've not seen too many penalties. I believe just
Very
2
clean.
each way. So 4 total, the 5th on the way.
Yeah, you're going to see right here. Right there, the hold in the back. You can't do that. He wasn't going to catch him. You just can't do that. You can't reach from behind and grab his shirt, but it's easier said than done trying to hold back from that. You're kind of dedicated to protecting that quarterback that you've been working with all this time, and that's where holds can happen there.
So a 10-yard penalty. It's going to make it 2nd down and 20.
Yep.
And West certainly not in field goal range here. Obviously a field goal would make it a 2-score game.
Mm-hmm.
Clock starting to become a factor as we tick down towards 6 minutes. Meanwhile, nothing developing here. This one thrown at the feet of Trevor Wong. The intended target looked like a screen that was blown up well by Team East.
I want to see a quarterback that has the head to know what to do. He threw that into the ground at his feet because that play was dead. Good quarterbacks. Bill Belichick, when he came back there and the 60,000 people were going nuts when he gave his speech, he talked about Tom Brady. It wasn't what he did do. It was the mistakes that he didn't make that made him the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yeah, if that's a completion there, that's probably a loss of maybe 5 or 6 yards.
You see a quarterback take that leadership role and know when when it's not good. It's just like a fighter pilot saying it's not good and then rolling back and coming back again.
Meanwhile, 3rd down and 24, receiver set. May's got time,
nice
guns
pass.
it right side, and this time Peters does make the catch along the sideline. They're going to get about 12 yards of that back, so a 4th down and 8. This would be a very long kick, maybe a 50-yarder with the football spotted at the 32.
I think they trust Jack's arm right now. You can see mechanics there. Nice. So Peters is not a tall guy, but he is athletic as they come, and he can do – he's fearless as well. I don't care what he plays, what sport he plays, he's fearless.
Listed at 5'7".
Everybody would want a guy, that little guy on your team because he's tough as nails.
4th down and 9 officially. May looking, tucking, flag, runs to the 20. He's got the 1st down.
I don't know if that's a face mask or not. It almost looked like Jack's face mask turned a little bit, or a horse collar, one or the other. We're going to see it here. I don't think it's a hold.
That's Paul Binder of Londonderry.
Yeah.
Got to think a piece of the mask.
I think he got a piece of the mask.
Either way, West picks up the 1st down on the run from May to keep the drive alive. A big 4th down conversion, the first of the game for Team West.
Yeah, it's going to be just that. Yep, they're going to get him for that, and almost a second one when May was down on the ground there. So
Gonzalez got the tackle out of the secondary. But again, too little, too late for Team East. They're going to tack on the penalty at the end of the run, and now I believe it's 1st and goal with the football at the 10-yard line. So Team West threatening to make this a 2-score game here as we tick our way down to 6 minutes.
As I told you, I had this game scoring a lot more points than this initially. Game's not over yet. These things can happen. End of the game, get fatigued, somebody can break and score more points. But I expected this to be, both teams in the 20s.
May's going to take his time here. And finally take the gun snap, hand off to Frechette, goes up the middle.
Yep.
And is tackled by Salem's Daniel Hughes, who has an interception to his credit tonight.
I mean, just keep burning clock. I mean, that's.
Again, this drive began back at their own 10-yard line.
And to be honest with you, Nick, if you don't have a good 4th down situation, you got a good kicker, get that extra 3 points, because in a game like this, that can make all the difference. 3 points here, making it 10-7, it makes it a 2-score game. If they don't run it in, and you're 4th and on the 4-yard line or something, you got any kind of a kicker, which I'm sure they do here. This is basically the best of the best. So,
of course, Team West got their lone touchdown in the second quarter from the other quarterback.
Yep,
Colby Nyhan, a 19-yard run for the Concord standout. Bedford's Jack May leading this drive. He's going to roll to his left. He's going to tuck inside the 10, but he's tackled about a yard deep in the backfield.
Yeah,
that again is Hughes celebrating as the Salem linebacker comes up with a sack.
Let's take a look at this. Why would you put your quarterback on his weak side like that, which he's very vulnerable, if he's going to tuck it and run?
I misspoke, Steve. It was not Hughes, but your friend Carson Plummer who made the tackle.
That's just a great tackle right there. But I don't understand the play call, why you would run your quarterback outside and take a loss like that. But, who am I? I'm just a color man up here just trying to figure out things. I don't know.
We'll see if May
but
gets on here.
I would not put your quarterback to the weak side in that situation.
3rd and goal, handoff Wong. Survives one tackle, breaks another. Makes a dive for the end zone, but they're going to rule him out of bounds at about the 3-yard line. So a 5-yard gain for the Manchester Central standout. Sets up 4th and goal, I believe, from the 3-yard line.
I think you're right, Nick. This is going to be this is a big call right here. I don't know why you wouldn't kick the field goal in this situation because
they're going to.
Yeah, to me, that's a higher percentage. And points have been so precious in this game. How about that East defense standing tall? Make it, at least they stop the touchdown. But
this is a 21-yard attempt. Colby Nyhan, who already connected on an extra point try back in the second quarter, trying to make it a 2-score game. Not going to happen. Line drive effort blocked. Ball rolls into the end zone. It's now picked up by Caden Smith, but the officials rule it dead. So Team East survives another scare. It's still a one-score game.
Yeah.
7-0.
Well, how about East? Watch them plunge the line here. Watch them come through. That whole offensive line was getting run over by the East defensive line. They brought everybody, and it paid off. There was no place to kick that ball through the uprights. If he kicked it through the uprights properly, Nick, it would have been blocked. That's just a terrific job by East, not giving up, and really shocked that offensive line wasn't able to hold there. I mean, it's a quick, it doesn't take a long time to kick an 11, 12-yard field goal.
That was an 87-yard drive.
Wow.
With no points to show for Team West. We saw Team East come away empty in the second quarter after a 77-yard effort. So it stays a one-score game, 4 minutes to go. Team East with the ball and one timeout, throwing deep, and this one is intercepted. Picked off by Jaden Paris of Goffstown. On his feet at the 20, down the sideline, inside the 15, and out of bounds at the 11-yard line.
How quick things can change in a football game, Nick, where you're trying to open it up on first down.
Second
that ball
straight
just
interception.
Yeah, watch it how much this hangs. Again, quick release, way too much time. If you're gonna do that, you want to overthrow the ball, let him catch up. I mean, he was covered completely. Don't throw it unless it's there. This is your one chance to come back with 3:54. And look at the release right off the back foot, Nick.
And a good jump on the ball by Paris of Goffstown.
Yep.
Who has played well tonight defensively. Second straight takeaway by Team West. We saw Bedford's Peter Schwazo come away with an interception.
Yeah.
On the previous drive, and then this one picked off. And a good run back as well by the Goffstown senior.
We're going to see it again here. Now watch the quarterback. Watch the way he releases it right there. He's hopping, standing up. He's hopping in the air when he throws it. There's no velocity on that ball, which gives – he's played a tremendous game, 31 there.
Paris.
Yeah, Paris. He has played a tremendous game.
Meanwhile, Nyhan takes over. Team West again knocking at the door inside the 12-yard line on first down. The right side run is going to gain about 4 yards. Trevor Wong back to work. The Manchester Central graduate keeps the clock running. We're down to 3.5 remaining. And again, Team West threatening to make this a two-score game.
Yeah, how about Jaden Paris in this game? Every single play back in coverage, when he's in defensive coverage, he's had a beat in the ball, and he's just been on it. And it doesn't surprise me in the least that before the end of the game, he's got a pick here.
Of course, he was the quarterback for Goffstown this season.
Yeah.
And a pretty darn good one.
Good athlete.
Handoff right side. Again, that's Wong. His momentum keeps him alive inside the 5. They're going to mark him at the 4.
Yeah, but my man there, number 24, Carson Palmer, just comes up and makes a stick. You want to see a hit. If we can see this one again while we're waiting, you want to see a really good hit. Watch this. Oh. That was a bang. I'm telling you, they are hitting out there, Nick. They are banging the pads together in the last 2 minutes.
That certainly kept him out of the end zone.
Yep, he's
but not this time as Wong cracks the code on a right side run. Touchdown, Team West. A 4-yard scamper for Trevor Wong, the Manchester Central representative.
Yep.
Making it a two-score game as West cashes in on the short field to make it 13-0.
Yeah, it's awful hard, Nick. You get the ball back with 3:54. And then they get it. It's just too much downhill. It's hard to recover. Defense is going off the field. Next play, they're coming back on the field, and it just favors the offense. And that's Nyhan, right? Yeah, he's played a good game as well.
So Wong is in the end zone. Extra point try is going to fail.
Yeah, he's done a good job.
As May on the field trying to go for 2, tackled in the backfield, so it stays 13-0 with 2:40 to go.
But the damage is done.
Yep. Pretty good lead block up front. Let's shout out Nashua South's Kevin Nabizi, who cleared the running lane on the Wong touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 13-0 Team West. Team East just one timeout remaining in a tough spot here with their backs to the wall.
Yeah, this has been a hard-hitting game. This has been an interior game. This has been a war in the trenches, but it's really been a war with the linebackers coming up and making sticks, and nobody has broken down. whether it's Carson Palmer, whether it's Devin, whether it's the West whole cohort of linebackers coming, checking in and out of this game, and just everybody's coming up to make sticks. Cornerbacks coming up, taking on guys that they're outweighed by 30 pounds, taking on guys sticking. And the reason it's been so successful is execution, taking the proper lane, but the thing is the form tackling, Nick, has really shown New Hampshire football to be that good. These kids young men are being well trained, and these guys are excellent tackling all across the board today.
So Team East hoping for a quick strike.
Not sloppy by any means.
Nyhan, meanwhile, kicks it to the sideline. That ball stays in bounds somehow. That forces Katrobis to pick it up. He's going to reverse direction before Nyhan escorts him out of bounds. He gains the 37. Nope, they're going to spot him at the 35. Either way, kind of a bizarre after the initial bounce with inches to spare along the boundary. And Katrobis makes the best of a bad situation for Team East. So they'll start at their own 35-yard line. 2:34 remaining. Reminder, after the game, live presentation down on the field of the Bo Dixon MVP Award.
Yeah.
Plenty of candidates for both teams here. We'll find out who wins that one, plus the official stats and highlights. That's all coming up after the game.
You know, one of the things, Nyhan, I just want to say, look, he's always a good ball player all year long, Nick. No question about that. In Concord, we saw him.
Yep.
But to me, he may be in one of those physiological growth spurts and strength where he hit a stride as far as growth and strength, because his speed and strength out there, to me, as good as he was during the year, is at a new level right now, and he's playing against the best.
Meanwhile, Malocek, who is taking most of the snaps tonight for Team East, the Timberlane standout, goes across midfield. Not sure if that was a broken play or not. Either way, it's a 19-yard gain.
Yeah, anytime they get him a little room to run, this is what you get as a product right here. Look at that nice move inside, good vision, protects the ball with two hands upon impact.
Finally stopped by Peters at the West 46-yard line. That clock, though, still ticking down to 2 minutes here. Malocek back in the gun, 4 receivers set, 2 to each side. It's a 4-man rush for Team West. Malocek
good out
throws
pattern
to the safety valve in the flat. It's Katrobis who makes his way out of bounds, picks up a first down.
Smart
down to the
football
33-yard line. A 13-yard connection there.
Petrobis, they've gone to one timeout because they burnt 2, unfortunately, right?
Right.
So what is Petrobis? Do you think he knows that? You bet he does. He sees a bunch of running on the inside lane, but what does he do? He steps back and grabs what he can outside to stop the clock, because it's not about his stats. It's about giving his team an opportunity to get down there. He's been a smart player all year long. We saw him every time we saw him playing, and who would want that guy on his team? That's just smart, unselfish football. 1st and
10, Malocek, plenty of time, going to run right, going to throw, and that catch made overhead, but the tackle comes in bounds.
Wow, I'm surprised they didn't give him the out of bounds right there. His knee must have come down. He was right, the official was right over it. Looked to me like he fell out of bounds, but his knee must have been out. Let's take a quick look here, because to me, that looked like he fell out of bounds, but like I say, the official was right on it. Let's see.
The catch by Ivan Colon, the third, and the tackle made by Kyle Emmons of Nashua South.
What a great call by this official. That's not easy. You got to be in the right spot. His knee came down, official's right on it, winds the clock up.
That's a nice tackle.
That's a nice tackle and a nice call.
2nd down and 5. Malocek again going to tuck and run. He's got the first down. He's tackled inbounds down inside the 20 at about the 16-yard line. Clock going to freeze for now while they move the chains with 1:04 to go.
You got to hurry, get the play in. You should be running full speed in, bringing that play in.
Yep, it's resuming now. We're inside of a minute.
Yeah, you can't jog the play in, but looks to me like he took the signal from the sideline, so that's why.
Team East desperately trying to get on the board and make it a 2-score game, but they're down to 50 seconds and counting. Malocek on a 1st and 10. Takes the snap. It's a 4-man rush.
He's got him.
Again, he's got time. He looks over the middle. The catch is made, and it's a touchdown. That is Scott Hirschberger, one of the 3 finalists for the Ukeka Player of the Year Award. The Campbell standout makes a play after the catch to complete a 16-yard touchdown drive. So Team East at least avoids the shutout.
Yeah.
Extra point try on the way. It's a 1-score game at 13-6.
Let's give them all the credit in the world. How about Malocek showing his stuff? Good mechanics. Holds it. Boy, he shot a bullet to Hirschberger right there. And Hirschberger ran a great route. And, folks, this game is not over. But I'll tell you, this is a big extra point. Got to hit it here.
Thompson missed a field goal attempt earlier, but the Londonderry kicker is true on the extra point try. So it's a 6-point game. 13-7, 39 seconds remaining. We expect likely an onside kick coming.
Anytime you have this sort of tackling in a game and this sort of and it's coming down to an onside kick, Nick, that's a good game.
Yes,
and we've seen a good game today. You don't need football, regardless of what all the people try to say, that does not need to be 62-49 in a game to make a good football game. This is what I call a good football game, just hard-hitting, good execution. A score should be hard to get, and it's been that way today. And touchdowns have been golden in a game like today, and it just increases the whole value of good defensive tackling and good offensive strategy. And yeah, this is good stuff.
As you said, Milochek leading the way. Had not completed a pass prior to that drive. Gets a little bit of redemption as he guides his squad, 65 yards down the field.
Yeah. I mean, these guys have been starved for live action. In how many months now?
7.
7 months. Now just playing in this game, fourth quarter. Here we go.
Thompson's onside kick is recovered by Team West.
Yeah, took a West bounce right there and really, but give him credit. He fell on it. So, good try.
Sure-handed Logan Paradise of Manchester West may have just sealed it for Team West as Team East is down to their final timeout.
Yep.
Technically, no time went off the clock. We're still at 39 seconds.
Yep.
But, again, the writing on the wall.
That was a nice drive by East. Really nice. Good play calling all the way down the field. Really spread things out for Milochek to be able to pick apart the defense. The defense, I mean, let's be honest, West is playing a little bit of a prevent there. Nobody gets behind me. They were dropping guys back into coverage, which opened up those runs for Milochek. You know, sometimes prevent can backfire as well. But what you want to do is force them to drive the clock down. And now there's 33 seconds. So that's
Team
looks
West
like it.
For the 5th straight year.
It's quite a run.
Is going to win this CHaD East-West New Hampshire High School Football All-Star Game by a final score of 13-7. A defensive effort, really both ways, the headline here. But in the end, it's Team West who's going to come away with their 10th all-time win in the series and now have the leg up head-to-head over Team East by a count of 10-3.
Well, I've been watching this all game, Nick, and I'll just say it right now. To me, there's another level, there's another element of this game that really surprised me, and that is how well Binder and again, you're never going to stop Binder and Kuchar. You're never going to stop them.
The two Londonderry linemen.
But they were slowed down. I thought they were going to come in today and dominate on both sides of the football game. And some guys on that West team, that offensive line and defensive line, really, really stepped up. And they were a factor because they're always going to be a factor. These guys are both probably are going to be D1 players. But to me, they were contained to the point where they didn't take over the game. And to me, that just shows how good West is and how well the design defensively it was to contain them and not allow them to push you down the field. There were times when you saw both Kuchar and Binder offensively when they were on the line start to dictate, and then they double team. It was like a double team. Whoever, I don't know who was lined up against. It's difficult to tell from here, but whoever that was did a heck of a job today.
We are waiting on the final statistics, and we are also awaiting the Bo Dixon MVP award. We'll bring you that coverage live down on the field. But the scoring summary was pretty simple.
Yep.
A touchdown early in the second quarter got Team West on the board. Concord's Colby Nyhan had a 19-yard touchdown run. He also added the extra point. 7-0 was our score at halftime. 7-0 was our score after three quarters. Yep. And Team West, well, they were denied on a field goal attempt. It was blocked.
Yep.
It was inside the final 4 minutes.
Yep.
Still 7-0 at that point. But then West comes away with their second straight interception. And a couple of plays later, it's a 4-yard touchdown for Central's Trevor Wong that made it 13-0. The 2-point try failed. And then East, well, they rallied. inside the final few minutes, put together a lengthy drive, and Jeremy Malocek hooked up with Scott Hirschberger from 16 yards out. Touchdown, and then the extra point added by Londonderry's Blake Thompson. But by then, again, too little, too late. 13-7. Team East only had one timeout remaining, and after a failed onside kick, Team West able to run out the clock. So Team West going to celebrate with the trophy.
They're going after
Coach
Kip
Jackson
now.
Is trying to avoid the Gatorade shower, but he is tracked down eventually by
they
Trevor
nailed him right
Long,
there. He held up for a while.
Get him. How about Coach Jackson? He's now pioneered this group to 3 straight wins. Team West has won 5 straight overall.
Yeah, what you look for with a coach is discipline in the most important moments, and they proved they had that today. I think the world of both of these coaches and Steve Abraham. But let's talk about Kip Jackson for a second. He shepherded this team to, I think, 3 wins in a row?
3 straight wins.
3 straight wins in a row. And it's not just the 3 wins, it's how they did it. And they were able to play in tight games and pull through. And it's all the little decisions you make along the way. But this defense was prepared, and you could see harmony on the sidelines on both of these teams. You didn't see any – both of these teams were well-oiled machines. Just Kip's group today on defense in particular was really, really special. They had some linebackers contribution and defensive backfield contributions from some Division and 3 and 4 players that came down from Plymouth and Merrimack. Came down, and they really, really did a heck of a job. And Kip Jackson's for real. You give him some group of personnel. This guy's for real. You give him some good players and the right type of players, he's going to make it happen. He's building that Merrimack program.
Right. He always seems to get those kids at Merrimack to overachieve year in and year out. They're competitive. They're in the playoff hunt. And this season we expect no different with the upcoming 2025 season. On the other side, Team East hanging around.
Very much so.
Hung around, came close. They were stopped 3 different times inside the red zone, put together some impressive drives. They were led on the ground by Salem's Kevin Tedisco.
Is that number 9? Sorry, Nick.
And the MVP, it looks like, is about to be handed over to Concord's Colby Nyhan. As we mentioned, he had the second quarter touchdown, made a couple of plays on defense as well.
He looked good.
There's Don York down there, former Manchester Memorial standout. He's been active along with Nick Valis and this
nicest
staff.
Guys you'll ever meet.
Yep. So the Bo Dixon MVP award in 2025 belongs to Concord's Colby Nyhan.
You could have, Nick. I could have think of 8-9 guys you could have given it to in this game. That speaks volumes about the quality of play. But Nyhan provided energy to the team on both sides of the football today.
And on special teams.
And I think that's why he walked off with a trophy today, because he did it in all 3 phases of the game. It's arguable that he was that junket that was the difference when he came in at quarterback. He looked fabulous as well. I think Nyhan was a great player for Concord during the year. But to me, any college looking at Nyhan on his high school career in his senior year versus now, that's a football player that's grown in strength, stature, and maturity, even beyond how good he was during the regular season. He's going to be a young player to watch.
Steve, your final thoughts.
My final thoughts are the event and what this event means, and the application of those resources to young children who are in need of the big winner today. It's the overarching, most important part of this game. But the players, the coaches, the team of Nick and his group of volunteers, the media coming to support this thing, it doesn't happen without that as well. We've got media all the way down, really trying to promote this game with a volunteer spirit out there. That's the real big item today. But amidst it, we got to see a hell of a football game. And we saw some of the talents of our young players in the state of New Hampshire, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But as the game went on, the offense showed their stuff and how good they are. Very, 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 very lucky to have the coaches. The officiating today was fantastic on so many calls. Just a fantastic weather, fantastic day. And lastly, Nick, I don't think I can handle waiting 2 more months for the Jamboree. But I know I have to, and I look forward to working with you then.
Final reminder to the crowd, if you have not done so already, please like and subscribe. Friday Night Lights New Hampshire is on YouTube at FNL NH Media. Again, Friday Night Lights New Hampshire on YouTube. The channel is FNL NH Media. We appreciate every subscriber that we get moving forward. Want to thank Nick Valis and his standout staff here putting together another great CHaD East-West New Hampshire football high school all-star game.
Catherine, too.
Catherine, right, was busy handling us here in the media throughout the last few weeks. And a great job as well. Salute to the players. Once again, raising over $300,000 for the Children's Hospital at Dartmouth. For our crew here at Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, bang-up job. We had 3 standout videographers on hand today. Kat Doyle, along with Matt Beals and John Barron. And, of course, the whole thing orchestrated flawlessly by the man behind the curtain, the wizard of replay, our director, Ben Beals, back in the Beals Insurance Studios. For my partner, executive producer, Steve Beals, my name is Nick Anastas, saying so long. Final score, final time. Team West, 13. Team East, 7. This has been a presentation of the 2025 CHaD East-West New Hampshire Football High School All-Star Game, powered by Basque, right here on Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, presented by Beals Insurance.